Hello and welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester United versus CSKA Moscow in the Champions League. We can't lose. Well, if we lose, we should still be alright. Even if we lose by 7 goals, I think we still, or if we lose by 7 goals, we might go out. So we're not going to go out. It's all about the team news, which we will have for you any second now. I hope you're all doing well on this Tuesday night. Tuesday night it is, isn't it? So drop a like on the video. Let's get 1,000 likes and let's get a Manchester United win. I'm looking forward to it. Again, a little bit of negativity, but you know, we've got the biggest game of our season on Sunday against Manchester City, and people are playing for places. We need to see whoever starts, and we don't know the team exactly yet, but we need to see some big performances today from whoever's playing, because the more options Mourinho has, the better. I mean, let's envisage a scenario against Manchester City at the weekend. Maybe we start Herrera and Matic, and Lingard doesn't play well, and on the bench he's got Mkhitaryan or he's got Mata. If they play well tonight, it gives us a decent, confident option. So it's about those players that come in. I'm really hoping we're going to see Luke Shaw. I just also want to give a big shout out to Heath Chong, young player that we signed I think a couple of years ago now. Really talented player with the big hair. Bad injury at the start of the year, knee injury. Played tonight for the 23s and scored a goal from a penalty. So back on the road to recovery, and a player to keep an eye out for. Really good player as well. So big shout out for him. Good to hear that he's back involved with Manchester United. But we are waiting on the team news. You are totally right, and as soon as we have that for you, we will obviously give it to you as well. Let's have a look at who's on the comments. Tubes moderator says if Shaw starts, we're on the pitch. I really hope that Luke Shaw does start. It just gives us, you know, I know some people will be watching this game tonight saying, oh, you know, it's a bit of a dead rubber game. It's never a dead rubber game when United are playing, but I do hope that we see some players come in and given a chance. And a lot of people seem to think that Luke Shaw is starting. It's not been confirmed yet, but I'll be very surprised if it isn't. Let's have a look at what I'm doing there. I can see myself. Somebody just said that Luke Shaw is starting, but I haven't got team news yet. There's another place I can look at. I thought Chong scored. I've been misinformed then. I thought Chong had scored. Apologies about that. But he definitely played, and that's the big positive news. Nicholas Myers is really excited about something. I wouldn't say I'm excited about tonight's game. I always look forward to watching Manchester United. I wouldn't say I'm massively excited, but I'm just having a quick look on numerous areas at the moment to see if the team news is up on Instagram. No, it's not up on Twitter either. Steve Oku says, I love the show. Thank you very much. And well, we love having you all. We love having you all. Shaw starts. A lot of people are saying Shaw starts, but where is the team? Well, Mad Mark says, where is the bloody team news? Because I always use Twitter. So where is the team news? It's not on Instagram. It's not on Twitter. So where do you get your team news from? Because maybe the United Stand needs to rectify where we'll get it. A lot of people giving us the team news. It will be through any minute officially on the United Stand. But Sandeep says it's Romero, Valencia, Lindelof, Smalling, Blind, Shaw, Herrera, Pogba, Mata, Rashford, Lukaku, which is interesting. I think if that's correct, I'll put it up on the screen, but if that is correct, then that is interesting. No Martial starting, no Matic, which we knew. I wouldn't be unhappy with that team. I think Luke Shaw starting is good. It would look like it's a 3-5-2 again, with Valencia and Shaw as the wing backs, Herrera and Pogba as a midfield 2, Mata as the 10, and Rashford and Lukaku up front. So I'd be very excited by that team. I don't know about you lot. Yeah, I would be. I think it's a decent team. Can't knock it. I'm getting off Instagram. They're rubbish for team news as well. United disappointed me, actually. Shaw starts, says yay M United. I want to see Zlatan and Lukaku up front. One football app, says Mark Anish. Yeah, one football app beating Manchester United's own Twitter. Ross, can you hear me?
How you doing, Mark? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I've not had the official team news yet, but I'm pretty much sure that the lads have got it right. I despair. I absolutely despair. Champions League nights, I shouldn't get wound up about it, but Champions League nights and Manchester United official counts don't go. They're a bit like Liverpool and titles. They just don't go well together when it comes to the starting lineup. I think I've got the team news, but it's not official through anything that I look through, so I don't know whether you've seen it. But Manchester United Twitter, yet again, crap on a Champions League night, and so is their Instagram.
It's out now.
It's out now.
Yeah, on the United Twitter account. If you just check it again or refresh it, it's out right now.
Here it is. Yeah, only 3 minutes late. They wanted to put a bit of snow on the image. So Romero, Valencia. They couldn't get any snow in Manchester. Romero, Valencia is captain. Lindelof, Smalling, Shaw, Herrera, Blind, Mata, Pogba, Rashford, Lukaku. They have they've worded it slightly different. I think it is a 3-5-2, but they've got Blind after Herrera, so I don't know whether that means formation might be slightly different. The bench is Pereira, Darmian, Twansibi, Young, McTominay, Lingard and Martial. So no Zlatan, no Matic, which we pretty much expected. No Bailly or Jones. No Rojo, which is probably wise. But happy with that team, Ross, while I type it up for everybody?
I think it's our strongest team, that. No, only kidding. No, it's really good, actually. It's really good to see Shaw, another player. I've got an absolute curse, because if I write a player off, you can guarantee the next week they're starting. So Shaw's playing brilliant. It'd be great to see him actually start a game. And you can guarantee there will be millions of fans around the world pretty much player camming him tonight. We'll have all our eyes on him.
Yeah, it's what makes it the most exciting part of the game for me, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really good, actually. It actually spices the game up, because for me, it's a bit of a nothing game. I mean, we ain't going to lose 5-0. It is a bit of a nothing game. But so things like that actually excite you. So it is good. Also, the Blind thing that you picked up on, not being potentially not being in the back four, I actually think we should give him a go, because I don't know if his best position is along the back. We are low on midfielders. Why not give him a go there and see how he plays? He could have a worldie, but my bet is that he'll just have an average game. But yeah, Mata, Pogba, Rashford, Lukaku. I probably would have rested Lukaku, to be honest, but he did say that Zlatan wasn't going to play, so it's pretty much what I'd have played, to be honest, mate.
The one player that I just need to double check, but we were mentioning him quite a lot before. In fact, he's on our graphic for this game. I thought it was a big opportunity for him. It won't be a big opportunity. No Mkhitaryan again. Brilliant.
Because to be honest, I would rather play Mata than Mkhitaryan, and you know, he obviously. Yeah, and I don't rate Mkhitaryan. I didn't want to see him, to be honest. I didn't want to see, because it'll probably tore CSKA apart. And I know people say, "Oh, well, why don't you play him if he's going to do that?" Because he's never going to play in the Premier League like that. So for me, it is more interesting, and you know, it's just as interesting for me if it happens. If Blind plays in midfield. Look, I don't think he's a solution to any kind of problem that we have, but while we have him and while we've got difficult fixes in Jan, give it a go. See how he plays. Some people say that he's as good as Carrick. I don't agree with that, but why not give it a go? And I like it. I like the experimentation. So, and I don't like Mkhitaryan at all.
I mean, bringing it back to Luke Shaw, I mean, that is the thing for me. I've always been a big Luke Shaw fan, and taken a few bits of stick on the United stand and in general on social media because of my insistence that Luke Shaw is the best left back in England when he plays to his potential. So very, very happy that he's starting, and I think it's, you know, for those people who are Luke Shaw fans, that, you know, I'm not going to say he's going to play like a worldie or anything like that. But I think I almost feels like I'm glad he's been given the opportunity, because I did sort of think that maybe he wouldn't. The only thing that gave me a little hope was when after the international break and we've just seen this like new Mourinho, he did put him on the bench for 2 games and didn't put Darmian and Blind on there, and then he never gave him a minute. So it's obviously been part of that working back in process. And as Love Harney says, so excited to see Luke Shaw play. He could play tonight and play rubbish, and I think in that case I'd probably say, you know, he's never getting back to what he was before. But if he what an opportunity to start a game is massive, you know, because anyone could come on with, you know, I always used to say about Martial, he was brilliant off the bench at the start of the season, but really you're judged whether you can do it from minute 1. And Luke Shaw being given that opportunity in a game where I believe Moscow, if they win, they can finish second in their group, so they will be competitive. I'll double check that for you. But, you know, it's a competitive game for Luke Shaw, and I hope he does well, because you know, the injury, people, I can even see people in the live comments there saying, oh, he's injury prone, get rid of him. The reality is, since he's come back from his injury in the summer, and he hasn't played for United, but he's not had an injury relapse. I mean, I think Luke Shaw's had about 15 in that time. So he's not, you know, he has been training hard. There's rumours that he's the fittest player in the team, and he's not gone and got himself injured again in any reserve game or anything like that. So maybe Mourinho's managed him quite cleverly about that and said, look, I'm not really going to play you for 2 or 3 months anyway because I want you to prove your fitness. So lots and lots of positive about Luke Shaw playing tonight, and I just hope he could solve as a problem. If he can be anywhere near as good as we hope he can be, then there's no need to talk about Danny Rose.
I think it was you who did a video saying United's fittest player with Luke Shaw in the thumbnail, I think. And yeah, do you know what? The coming off the bench thing, I think it's really hard to prove yourself as a defender coming off the bench. Martial was making impacts as a striker, but you can't really come off the bench as a defender and look good. So that's the starting today, you're right, is a massive opportunity for him. And he would solve a massive problem because this Danny Rose thing keeps getting touted around for January. And I don't know if I'm a rarity in this, but I don't want Danny Rose. I don't actually like him. So I'd rather keep Luke Shaw, to be honest, and see him get minutes because, like you say, I think he's got a little bit of a higher ceiling than Danny Rose. And that's just my opinion. I may be wrong, but it is big for him tonight. And like we've said it before, we're all going to be watching him and praying for, one, that he stays fit, and two, he doesn't make a mistake because you kind of just want him to have an average game and not make mistakes, to be honest, because you know what Jose's like. If he gets forward too much, he'll get criticised for that.
Yeah, definitely. A few people saying Mourinho's just putting him in the shop window. Shabam says fittest player is just a reason to sell him in the market. Christopher Loucher says, Mark, are you disappointed Twansibi isn't starting? This is the guy in the game who should have started. I don't understand it. You know what? I'll throw that at you, Ross. It's a good point. I spoke about this a number of weeks ago and said that if we, you know, part of the reason I was disappointed we lost against Basel is because we basically have qualified anyway. But if we definitely qualified, I was like, you know, City, it's between Arsenal and City, the game tonight, you know, just play the kids, etc. But Mourinho did say a couple of weeks ago he wasn't going to do that. Do you think he should have played Twansibi and McTominay tonight?
Yes, I do. But obviously the reason is that the team didn't do the goods last time they played, so we're not actually through. But to flip that, I think Lindelof needed. He needs games. He needs to run a game. So I think playing him tonight is a good thing, and you know it is a little bit easier for him against CSKA. And also, some of the sort of squad players that are on the bench every week, they do need to play. You'd be slightly pissed off if you're on the bench for 3 weeks running, then you have an easier game come up and you're still on the bench because a youth player gets in. I think that can send out a negative message sometimes, but Twansibi for me more than McTominay I'd have played because what a talent we have there, and let's start using him because yeah, I just think he's brilliant.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see Twansibi at some point in the game. I mean, remember we've got Bristol City, but I think also Pogba was always going to play because of the incident on Saturday afternoon. I've not spoken to you about that, Ross. Just very quickly, curiosity: was it a red card, Pogba?
No, it's a booking.
Yeah, I've spoken about it to death, but I just can't grasp how and what he's supposed to do when an idiot pussy puts his leg down instead of going into a tackle. It's one of the weirdest tackles I've ever seen, one, and two, I don't know what the hell Pogba's meant to do. So
I think if he didn't walk away clapping, I think we'd have appealed it. I think the fact that he did that is the reason why we didn't appeal it, because I think the ban would have been extended because of that, to be honest.
Yeah, you're probably right. A few people in the live comments are mentioning Fellaini. He's not involved. He wasn't involved at the weekend, but I thought Fellaini was injured. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't as many people will predict, I don't monitor Marouane Fellaini. So
the last game he played before he come off the bench, I think it was at Watford, in the last 10 minutes, and he picked up a knock. Yeah, and he played the rest of the game, but he was obviously in a bit of discomfort. So yeah, that's probably why we haven't seen him.
Yeah, it's interesting for the game on Sunday because as people are joining us now, I think that it's the Daily Blind is quite an interesting. I mean, Luke Shaw's the story. Luke Shaw starts. Mkhitaryan not even on the bench, as Anthony Martial says. Mkhitaryan question mark, not on the bench. Ross sort of agrees with that. I think it's interesting. No Fellaini, he's injured, so don't worry about Fellaini. But the Blind one's quite interesting as well, because the way Manchester United have listed it, and don't look, team leads going on the bottom of the screen there. I've listed it as a 3-5-2 with Shaw and Valencia as wing backs and Blind in a back three. But the way United have listed the players, they've not given a formation away, is they've got Blind after Herrera, which would suggest he's playing in the midfield, which a lot of people, I've called it a myth, Daily Blind can play as a midfielder. It'd be interesting to see if that happens. But I also think Valencia playing tonight's slightly strange. But what people must forget is that Valencia normally gets rested for the midweek games, but it's Tuesday night. We're not playing till Sunday night, so it's 5 days, which is quite a significant gap, really, Ross.
Yeah, it is, and Valencia's just one of them super fit players. But I hope I don't jinx that. I hope he doesn't get injured tonight. But he's the sort of player that you can just rely on, to be honest. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, I do get the Blind myth thing. But I think you're right. I think there could be a little bit of a look towards that City game, because Matic and Blind as a sort of shored up midfield, it may work, but it all depends how he plays tonight. If Blind pulls out a worldie tonight, you may see him, and he also adds a little bit of set piece play, which we do lack.
Yeah, I mean that, let's sort of bring the derby into it, because it gives it an extra edge. I mean, for me tonight, it's very exciting. If I wasn't doing the watch along with you, I'd happily be at Old Trafford. Flex is at Old Trafford tonight. If we're doing the fan cams, they'll go up later on. I'd happily go and watch a game like this, just simply because I love Manchester United, but also I would do what Ross said, and it's the one thing you can do at a ground better than you can do watching it on TV. I'd just fan cam Luke Shaw. I'd just watch Luke Shaw. It'd be a scouting mission just to see how good he is. So I'm excited to see that. St Columba, I know I've called him McTominay, but I'll change that. But the Mkhitaryan thing is interesting. I know, Ross, you were saying there that you agree with it. I think I said a couple of weeks ago that, look, Mkhitaryan is, God, that's a terrifying thought, fusing McTominay and Mkhitaryan together. A lanky bottler. But, no, that's a bit harsh. I do think Mkhitaryan can turn things around, but he did play badly for 6 weeks. So I said, well, he played badly for 6 weeks. Maybe he should be kicked out of the first team squad for 6 weeks and earn his stripes to get back in. And all I would say is that if he can't get in matchday squads for a game like this, Ross, there's got to be an issue again in relation to trust. I'm not saying I never like the whole, and Martial used to get it last year, and Luke Shaw, funnily enough, has had it. Oh, they're lazy, they don't try in training. I think that those myths that come from the press just infuriate me, because they're not true. So I'm not going to say Mkhitaryan's not trying in training, because I'm sure he is. But I would suspect that Mourinho's not seeing enough of him in training that makes him think, I can trust you again. Yeah,
it's definitely a trust thing. And wow, how many chances did he have? How many times do you think that when we had that run of games that he was playing so poorly in, Mourinho's gone, you're on your last chance, mate. We need something from you tonight. And he just never delivered. And I think because of that, he is having quite a lengthy stint out of the squad. And yeah, I think it's a good decision. And I think when you're looking to change a game, I know we haven't seen a lot of McTominay, but because of the height, maybe he may add something. If we're chasing a game, I don't think Mkhitaryan's your man. I think you either start him and he plays well, or there's no point in being on the bench. So that's kind of my sort of reasoning behind it, as well as the layoff thing. But maybe as well.
I can ask you one thing about the derby. Pep's done 2 tactical. It's going to be a very interesting week, especially once we've got our game out of the way and City have got theirs, because it's obviously going to be very much about the derby, and it's the biggest game of the season without doubt. And it's going to get hyped up, and we will play our part in that. But I think Pep's played 2 sort of mind games so far that I think he's rubbish at mind games, and I can see right through them. But I wanted to get your thoughts, Ross, and everybody at home. The first one is talking about height. Oh, we're scared of height. We're scared of height, because I think he wants Mourinho to pick tall players, because Fellaini, if he plays, very good in the air, but very easy to pass around with I think he knows if we play a lot of tall players and Pogba's not playing, he can just use his smaller players to pass around us. So I think he's luring us into we're scared of height, so we play tall players and he can move the ball quickly. And also today he's come out and said that David Silva is doubtful for the game, which I think again is a load of rubbish. I think it's just trying to appease the media, but because we know we've got Pogba out, and I think he's trying to say, well, we've got Silva out, and he hasn't got. Silva will definitely play on Sunday. So I think Pep's trying to sort of play a few mind games. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, he is, and fair play to Jose for just kind of staying out of it. He's looking like the bigger man at the minute, and I think he'll appear that on the weekend, to be honest. We've just got to, we know what to do. We know what to do against them. You know what to do. People watching know what to do. It's just how well we hit on the break, because we're going to have to absorb pressure, but we're going to get chances. Their defence is so shaky. And you're right. Fellaini historically has always played well against City, but I would leave him out because what I've seen from him recently is he isn't that switched on in midfield defensively. He kind of just stands there. And sometimes that works, other times it doesn't. But again, it depends how Jose uses him, because I think you'd agree, Mark, if Fellaini played and he sat on the halfway line and we launched balls up to him,
yeah,
it actually work. And if he was laying off to Lukaku, it would work really well. It's where he plays, and yeah, if he's in that midfield, he will get rings run around him. So again, might be why Daley Blind's used today, but I know you probably disagree. But we've just got to watch it, because to have a defender in midfield playing as a midfielder is handy when, you know, you really have to drop back in to have that extra line. But Jose would just get called anti-football if he does that, which is the problem.
I mean, I think Herrera's got to play because he combines, he's our quickest midfielder without Pogba, and you need that. He's got a low sense of gravity, you need that. Matic is obviously going to play, very important. Who plays with him and what we do, whether we go with the 3-5-2 or not, I don't know. What I would say is, and it's going to be the best ticket in the house, is if you are at the game on Saturday, don't go on Saturday, there will be no one there, it'll be like you're at Man City. If you're at the game on Sunday, the crowd has to be and will be up for it, because that is like an extra man. I mean, Man City aren't used to playing in front of more than 5,000 people in Manchester, so if we can have 75,000 people there rocking the place and get up from it from the start, then we've got a great chance. But yeah, I think you probably know where I'm going with this, Ross. The problem is, if we are passionate and we're pumped and we're up for it and we get at City, great. You highlighted it last night. The problem is the referee. He is a big problem for a game like that, because if we want to get at them and press them and, you know, get in their face, you've got a referee there who's you know, he's Mark Clattenburg's kid. It's,
you know, talking about Clattenburg, it's really interesting, all the quotes coming out from his book, which is making him look like an absolute pillock. It's the celebrity ref thing, and he's pretty much admitted to it.
Yeah.
And he also admitted to not, you know, to not giving the decision the opposition's way, because Roy Keane shouted at him. You can't go admitting stuff like that. That is dreadful. And yeah, this celebrity ref thing winds me up, and all eyes will be on him. And if he wants to make a name for himself, this is the time to do it. I kind of, in a way, hope the United fans continue with this propaganda against him, because it may make him want to give a decision our way.
Well, Liverpool did it to us last year, didn't they? With that Anthony Taylor, who was born in Manchester but not a Manchester United fan. And Liverpool fans were on and on about it all week, all over social media. And I know we've got 2,000 people watching now, but I agree with Ross. I implore you, get on your social media about Michael Oliver all week, and, you know, build this bloody, as petty and childish as it may be, build this sort of noise of negativity, because he's done a few things to us. I mean, I remember the Manchester derby when he sent Chris Smalling off, which, to be fair, it was 2 yellow cards, but Joe Hart ran up to him on the halfway line and put his head to his head. He didn't even book him. I think he didn't wash his face for a week because he was so pleased that somebody touched him. He's a terrible referee. He's another Clattenburg who's out for himself, and he's very bad against Manchester United. So yeah, I agree with you on that, Ross. People, tweet it, get it known, get it in the media, because Liverpool did this to us last season, and it worked a blinder. We didn't get anything off that referee.
Yeah, definitely, and the crowd will play a part into that as well, which is why it is good that it's at Old Trafford. But yeah, what a game! It's hard, isn't it? You know, we've got CSKA now. It's what we should be talking about.
Yeah,
but
yeah, but
we're talking about
next week, though, doesn't it?
the absolute biggest game of the season and one of the biggest games in Europe. The whole of Europe will be watching that, which is why I hope. I know it's a double-edged sword because the sense does tell you to sit back and absorb some pressure. But on the other hand, look what we've done attacking teams. And to be honest, City's back four is shaky, and Europe is watching. We've got to make a name for Manchester again. And the other side of me wants to just go at them and destroy them.
Look, it's at Old Trafford, the theatre of dreams. Somebody just said it there. We need to build the pressure. Whether it's building the pressure in the social media on the referee, whether it's building, you know, people think, why are you saying this about Man City? Oh, you're embarrassing yourself as a United fan. Do you think I've just been tweeting about City for the last week because I feel like doing it? You'll notice my tweets about City have probably gone up 50%. I've been saying stuff like Pogba's way better than De Bruyne. Lukaku's actually better than Aguero when you think about it. Pep is just a Spanish Brendan Rodgers with a blank checkbook. And they're biting, they're biting, they're biting, they're biting. And that's what we want. We want to build it. Keep them biting. Keep building the pressure. And when we go to Old Trafford on Sunday, and when they go on that pitch, you want a pressure cooker. These are mercenary players at Manchester City. They've not gone to Manchester City because they loved Sean Gota when they were growing up, and they loved watching Division 2 football, and they used to visit Main Road every year with their dad. None of that crap. They visit Main Road. Well, sorry, they don't visit there. They visit the empty habs every week because there's a load of oil money going into their bank account. They don't care who they're playing for. They're mercenaries. And mercenaries will play well when the going's good and they're allowed to play well. But when the going gets tough, a mercenary will change sides or run away. And it needs to be tough. The environment needs to be tough. We need to be tough. And we need to use every little advantage we've got. Because as we know, Ross, with City, I spoke about this last night. Every team that Pep's ever managed, they dive and they crowd the referee and they do the early foul to break up the play early so that they're not giving away yellow cards or red cards later on down the pitch. And that's Pep. And the press ignore it because they love his football. But actually, every team he's ever managed, they crowd the referee and they dive. And they'll do it on Sunday.
Yeah, again, with that social media thing, I really hope that someone has a word with that ref and just shows them a little bit. That Sterling dive, a few of what City does. And he has to know, because
well, Delph did it at the weekend.
I know there's going to be a lot of penalty shouts. There is going to be a lot because of the way they play.
And they do it on accumulation as well, don't they? They'll, you know,
exactly.
If you dive three times, and you keep moaning and moaning, it gets into the ref's head, and you think, oh, I haven't given two, I must give this one.
He's got to be. It's not just him; it's his assistants as well. They have to be dead certain that there was contact and no ball was touched for a penalty to be given. And the ref's got to have that in his head. And also at the other end as well, because United don't get penalties anymore. That's a fact. We don't get penalties because we had a good run for 10 years and it's over now, to be honest. But yeah, the ref thing, it won't go away, mate.
Well, if you've got Fabian Delph diving in the box, you know, Mr. Bland, Mr. Boring footballer, and he's going into the box and taking a dive. It just shows you how ingrained it is in Pep's training that everyone must dive. I mean, and all you ever get back as a United fan when you say that is you get pictures of Ashley Young diving, which were from 2012 now, 5 years ago since Ashley Young used to dive, and that was, I think Sir Alex Ferguson was manager when he was diving, and he did used to dive. And boy, oh boy, did the press, you know, United player dives, and, you know, it's all over the press. City player dives, and they're talking about Pep's jacket. You know, they're not interested in doing anything, but we sell papers, we know that. A lot of people talking about City. It's so easy to fall into it, but Juan Duran is right. Luke Shaw starts, and yeah, very, very, very pleased about it. Remember, if you're new to the United Stand, we like to get 1,000 likes on a video before the game. We've got 483 at the moment. It's a superstition, and it's been doing bloody well, especially the last few weeks. 12 points from those Premier League games is absolutely fantastic. And if you are new, make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you get notified every time we go live. We go live a lot, daily at 8 PM, and obviously for the matches and everything. So get involved with the community, a fantastic community on the United Stand. Do subscribe and like. But yeah, I mean, what's your score prediction for tonight, Ross? And how do you think the performance will be? What do you think we need to do? Do you think we need to keep it on the lay low and just go through the motions, or do you want to see us really go for it and get some momentum?
CSKA is going to be different to Basel because Basel absorbed pressure in the hope that they'd nick something, and they did. CSKA have to score a shed load of goals if they want to get through. They need to be 2-0 up at half time. So they're going to hit us. So I want us to just control for the first half, just control the game and attack, not sit back. Keep the ball in midfield, keep possession. I'm going with United 2-0, to be honest. I can't see us conceding. I think CSKA are a poor team. And yeah, it's at Old Trafford. We should dominate. But yeah, keep possession, because one thing I don't want as well is a really competitive end-to-end game. You don't want that. I know it's 5 days away, but the more we keep the ball, the less running we do. So just keep the ball tonight for me. So I'm going to go with 2-0.
I agree with Jacko. I love this formation. If it is the 3-5-2, it is fantastic. Styson Furious says, Mark, the chair should host again for City. Worked a treat against Arsenal. You don't know how much of me is tempted to just let Ross and Marcus do it and the chair, because I know I've missed other games, but Chelsea significantly at home, we won, and a lot of people thought we were going to lose. At the weekend, a lot of people thought we were going to lose, and we won. I'm tempted. If we don't win on Sunday, I'm going to get it in the neck for doing the watch-along, Ross, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, mate, the thing that I picked up on was 3,000 likes. If you get 3,000 likes, and I've noticed it on any United Stand video, we've never lost on 3,000 likes. So that's what everyone needs to do. Well, get on there before the game and just like the video. I'll be on it. I'll be liking it off multiple accounts.
We'll definitely be going for that on Sunday then, because like I say, every little angle we can think of would be fantastic. Tonight, I just think I love the 3-5-2. We've spoken about it to death. I remember we were talking about it in the summer. It's a cheating formation for me in a positive way. You don't get swamped in the midfield. You get two up front. You get your width, and you're very strong at the back. So I love the formation, and I think it works really, really well for us so far. And I think also we should see the best of Luke Shaw out in that left back position as well, which I'm all for. I want to see Lukaku scoring, says Liam Murphy. I suppose it is important. We've been saying that for the last few weeks, really. In fairness, Ross, it's important that Lukaku gets a goal. Really, I don't want to sound repetitive, but it would be good if he got a goal tonight ahead of that Manchester derby, just to give him some. Because I thought he played really well against Arsenal, and we've spoken so many times about what he does off the ball, and he certainly did that against Arsenal. Is massive for this team. But if he can score a goal tonight, it will give him that extra edge as well for the derby.
Agreed, it will, but I thought he was fantastic against Arsenal. And to be honest, the way we're probably going to play, I don't think he's going to have that many chances on Sunday, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, his layoffs at times were fantastic. He was instrumental in the Valencia goal, instrumental in pretty much every goal. He was instrumental in the build-up. And as long as he's doing stuff like that, and as long as, I said this in the watch-along last week, it becomes a problem when you're on a goal drought and no one else is scoring. If you're having a goal drought as a striker and you're playing well and other people are scoring fine, it's not really a problem for me. So even if he doesn't score tonight, he obviously first man on the team sheet on the weekend, and I have no problems with the way he's performing at all. And look, I'm happy for his goal drought to continue if our wing-backs are scoring like they are and if midfielders are chipping in. Because that's what you need to win a league. We relied at the start of the season pretty much on Lukaku's goals. Last season, without Zlatan, would have been in a dreadful state. So it's nice. Lukaku's bringing other people into the game, and we've got free scoring wing backs now. It's brilliant.
Yeah, well, and I also think as well, we talk about Lukaku. I thought it was brilliant at the weekend, and hopefully Martial's on the bench because he's playing on Sunday, and he is a first teamer from now on because he's played. I think he's started the last 5 games for United, which is the first time he's done that under Mourinho. He smashed it. Not starting tonight, he's on the bench. So I hope that's an indication that like Ashley Young, he's a first teamer, and that's why he's not starting. Because Rashford starts tonight. I'd like to see Rashford have a good game because I don't want him to force Martial out of the team, but I want him to be a decent option, and I do like Rashford, and I think I do think it's a massive game for Rashford because he's skirted under the radar a bit because Mkhitaryan's been dreadful and Lukaku's not been scoring goals, but Rashford's actually not been that good in a United shirt for a number of weeks either.
Yeah, his form's dropped, and it's nice that Jose's benched him, to be honest, but he's still hugely important to us. And I think any other season he'd still be getting in the team, but Martial has absolutely kicked on. He's taken it up to a different gear. And even if I was that idiot of a French manager, I'd be putting his name first on the team sheet at the minute. He's in the best form I've seen him, to be honest. Even in his first season under Van Gaal, he scored a lot, but he weren't playing as well as he's playing now. And yeah, he's first name on the team sheet for Sunday. I know it's Rashford, regardless of how he plays today. I don't think he can displace him. And look, Rashford ended, I think it's Di Michelis, his career in a City game. And if Martial gets the ball at feet and he runs at company, I think he'll be ending another one, to be honest.
Hope so. Can't wait. George Cole just made me laugh. He says, everyone, Chad, the human L-taking machine, is here. I haven't actually seen a comment from Chad, but I presume he is here somewhere. And Chad is here. He says, I'm not going to get triggered. Laugh out loud. But Rashford needs to play. He does need some game time. So he's another player to watch out for. Remember, he's through our youth setup. He's 20 years old now. So fantastic talent. But must also say happy birthday to future World Player of the Year, Anthony Martial. Only 22. Only 22 today. And for me, he's our player of the season. And as I said a few weeks ago as well, for those people who underestimate how good Martial is, I've always likened him to a young Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry hadn't even signed for Arsenal at the age Martial's at now. And Thierry Henry, when he signed for Arsenal, was crap for the first 2 years. He didn't hit his form until about 24. So just shows you, Martial, I think people get wrapped up in this, Mbappe's 15 and, Rooney was 12 when he started playing for Everton. Most footballers, you're aiming for the mid-20s. Look at Pogba, and Martial's still 3 years off that, and he still needs to improve. But that assist on I could watch it every day of the week. It's that assist for Lingard in the first goal was just smooth criminal. Michael Jackson reincarnated. That was brilliant.
Yeah, if De Gea didn't play so well, I think that would have been just repeated on Match of the Day over and over because it was ridiculous. And the comparison with Thierry Henry won't getting the assists that Martial gets. I mean, Martial's, you don't read into stats too much, but his minutes per goal assist ratio is a joke. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's top of the Premier League with minutes played because obviously he got a lot of goals and assists from the bench. He is pushing player of the season at the minute for me. I think there's people like Matic that can stretch him because he obviously won't get the same stats that Martial gets. But
I think Pogba would have pushed him. But I think, Pogba, unfortunately, he's missed 2 months already. He's going to miss another 3 games. So just shows you how good Pogba's been because he's actually missed more than half of our season already.
And my final piece on this, the final thing I'm going to say on the game on Sunday is that, for me, certain players at United are all hit peak form going into this game. And there's a lot of City players, Aguero namingly one of them, that are really struggling at the minute. So you could argue that now's the best time to be playing City. I wouldn't want to play them a month ago because we were struggling, they weren't. But I think it's turned the other way. I know they've been eking results out, but the overall play hasn't been hugely great from them.
Yeah, I just think it's going to go off like a bottle of pop on Sunday. I just think something's going to happen, and hopefully it's in our favour. But I don't think, I've just got a funny feeling Mourinho and Pep won't be shaking hands at the end of it. Pep's a petulant little bold loser anyway. We saw that with his little outburst with Redmond. I think he should have been banned for that, but I'm not bothered. I don't really give a damn what other people are getting banned for. I give a damn about United. But if we beat them on Sunday, there's no way Pep will be gracious in defeat. And I don't think Mourinho will be either. So I think it's going to be an absolutely cracking game, and I really, really cannot wait for it. Just want to ask you, Ross, as well before you go. I think, obviously, I wasn't in work yesterday. I was in work today, and a lot of the people who know I support United were like, "Oh, you're so lucky at the weekend," and everything like that. And I just keep saying the same thing. I'll just do that first. I hold up a big L and smile, and then after about 5 minutes, I put the L down and I'll say, "At what point did David De Gea stop being a Manchester United player?" And they'll go, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, at what point is David De Gea not a Manchester United player?" "What are you on about?" David De Gea is a Manchester United player, isn't he? Yes. Well, shut up. Stop talking about luck. How many times did Arsenal hit the post? None. How many times did De Gea save it? 14. Who's Manchester United's goalkeeper? David De Gea. Thank you. Sit down. Go away. People seem to be lost in the fact that because De Gea made a load of saves, we were lucky. He's the Manchester United goalkeeper. There's a reason he's our goalkeeper. He's one of 11 players. We are a football team. If the goalkeeper and defenders do lots of blocks and saves, we win the game 3-1. There is no aspect of luck in that game at all. It was a fantastic advert for the game. And I think Arsenal fans have just shown themselves up again for being spoilt little brats who think they're better than they are. You lost 3-1. It was a great game. Show some bloody humility.
Yeah, spot on. The only thing you're lucky about is the fact that we support Manchester United in red, not Arsenal in red, because it's not just De Gea. Pogba is far superior to Xhaka. It's another reason why we won that game. Our right backs far superior to their right back, and it was all over the pitch for me. Jesse Lingard. Yeah, Jesse Lingard had a worldie. I mean, there's elements of luck to. You could say that every team's lucky to win a game, to be honest. Or you're lucky that he scored that goal. Well, yeah, you are. Of course, you are lucky, but you write your own luck, and that's what we did. We wrote our own luck because we have David De Gea. Like you said, we've got better players than them. So yeah, it was just. Look, they thought that they played well and they were just clinging on to anything, to be honest. But to be honest, their best player was Ozil in that game for me. His set-piece delivery was phenomenal, and I still think he's coming to United anyway. So give it January, their season will be well and truly buried.
You know what? That's another great point. I don't want to talk about Arsenal. Well, I do want to talk about Arsenal because it was such a good performance. I think it was perfect. I don't know what people expect who are being negative, that United can go to the Emirates and dictate the play from minute 1 to minute 90. You know, whatever you think about Arsenal, when we go there, it's a tough game. I remember us going there and hitting them on the break in the Champions League with Ronaldo and Rooney. They were very much in that game. I think we won 4-2, but we just killed them on the break. You know, we didn't dominate them from minute 1. We killed them on the break. And we did that on Saturday. But Ross is right. Ozil's probably one of the best ball deliverers in the league, and there was a great question from somebody earlier on, who's our best defender at the moment. I tell you what, it's a difficult question because for me I think it's Smalling, because Arsenal are very good from corners. They've got a great set piece delivery, and I never once looked like they were going to score because Pogba, Lukaku, Smalling, Matic, just different class in the air. And you know, Mourinho gets a lot of stick for his Fellaini love because of his height. We didn't have Fellaini at the weekend, but we were so dominant in the air. I just never, even when Giroud came on at the end, I was like, sit down, Giroud, you're not going to do it today. You know, we're not going to be naive down the right hand side and let Chamberlain put a cross in that, you know, my little boy could score. It's, you know, proper defending, and you know, De Gea was great, but the defenders have been fantastic, and you know, Lindelof's improvement is fantastic to see. I don't know, I keep saying it, I don't know where we'd be without Smalling for the last month, because you can't rely on Jones and Bailly.
Smalling has done himself no harm in his last month. The player that looked like he was going to be outed at the start, to be honest, because he got dropped for Bailly and Jones, and it looked like Lindelof was more in favour as well. It just goes to show you what, not just consistency, but fitness and where it get you. And Joe, you know, like Josie talks about reliability and trust. Well, he's got someone there in Smalling that, you know, has both for me. The arguments are there that is he our best defender? On ability, he's probably somewhere in the middle. But if you're fit every week, you're ready to go, and your concentration's that good, you're going to be first name on the team sheet. And do you know what? Bailly and Jones, Bailly's injury problems are starting to become a bit of a problem for me, but I still love him. But they have to work their way into that team now. I don't want to see Bailly come back from you know, injury and getting, you know, displacing Rojo, Lindelof or Smalling. They need to work here, and they need to, for me, show a little bit of fitness like Luke Shaw's done, because the injury problems are real, and I think that we need to strengthen in that position, to be honest, and we probably need to get rid of Phil Jones. I really like him. I really rate him as a defender, but I think we both agreed at times, what's the point having the best defender in the world that only plays 15% of your matches? It's stupid.
I know, look, I'm not as big a fan as Phil Jones. I prefer Smalling, and I know that's going to upset George, but I like Smalling, mainly because he's so dominant in the air. And I think Gareth Southgate, I want to give him a high five, even though he's a boring, big-nosed fool. I want to give him a high five because what he said about Smalling, which was totally and utterly uncalled for on England duty, I think it has inspired Smalling. And I think Mourinho getting Smalling out next to him has inspired Smalling as well on that press conference straight after it. So, yeah, he's been fantastic. Phil Jones, get in line. You can't be trusted. Don't care how good you are, you can't be trusted. You know, Phil Jones' injury problems cost us 3 points against Huddersfield because he had to go off after 20 minutes. And he's been injured. He's not picked up a big injury yet, but he has picked up 3 or 4 injuries this season already, Phil Jones. And it's never going to end. He's always going to get injured. So I'd get rid of him.
For me as well, I think Smalling works so well in a back three because, yes, he's absolutely beast in the air. And what he maybe lacks in a little bit of anticipation, Victor Lindelof, who looks like his anticipation is phenomenal. It looks like his biggest attribute. And for me, you've got 3 centre-backs there at the minute, which they all have their own unique trait. Rojo's rash, but sometimes you need a bit of that, a little bit of a terrier. Smalling's a beast in the air, and Lindelof's anticipation and ball play is phenomenal. So you've got 3 really balanced centre-backs, and you'd maybe take Rojo out for Bay because he's the same type of rash player. And it just works. As a back 3, Smalling looks comfortable, and he doesn't look out of position all the time because he's got cover. I really like it. Like you said, the formation for me is it's the best formation I've seen since the Fergie days. We look balanced.
Oh yeah, and I don't want to pick on Phil Jones because he's not in the team, and I don't think he should be in the team. But actually, if you're really harsh, every point we've dropped in the league is down to Phil Jones. Falling on his arse from the corner against Stoke, obviously going off injured against Huddersfield, and then Chelsea, brilliant defensive display, and decides to go on a stadium tour, and we get caught out. So, yeah, but I'm not being critical of anyone. I just prefer Lindelof, Smalling and Rojo at the moment. I do agree, somebody just said it, it's whizzed by, unfortunately, that Eric Bailly is our best defender. I totally agree, I do. But I am concerned about his injury record. And again, you've got to be consistent. If Bay keeps getting injured, I would say the same that I say about Phil Jones. You can't build a team around, especially your defenders. They need to be playing week in, week out. And Ross is right about Smalling. He's solved his injury problems and he's playing week in, week out. And we are benefiting from that. And, Lindelof's playing every week at the moment. And that's great. So the lineup's going along the bottom of the screen. But I'll let you crack off, Ross. Crack off. Crack on. Crack off. Maybe you will crack one off, but I don't know. Oh dear. But thanks for coming on, pal. Marcus says you can't come on at half time.
I can't do half time, mate, no. But yeah, so the next time we'll be speaking, mate, will be preview to the City game. So onwards and upwards.
Can't wait. Anyway, thanks for coming on, pal. Really enjoyed it.
Cheers, Mark. Catch you later, mate.
Speak to you soon. You can follow Ross on Twitter at Hazard90 on Twitter. He'll be cracking off right about now, so give him a follow. Kick off 7:45, Chad. Yes. Marcus, you can come on ASAP because I need to. I've just realised I'm not even set up my TV, so I need to do that. Ian Turlington says Lindelof will become one of the best defenders in the world as a ball-playing centre-back as part of a back 3. Maybe that's the future for United. It works really, really well. Sandeep says Ross great as ever. He was. Smart haircut, Mark says Brad. Not a lot. Well done, Brad. Well done, Brad. You maybe have a future in surveillance because not many people ever notice that when I've had my haircut because it's always the same style. It's just slightly shorter. So well done for spotting that, Brad. Very, very good. What I have forgotten to mention is please do like and share the video tonight because we have got the potential to hit another significant thing together live on here for the channel, which is 155,000 subscribers. We're about 400 under at the moment, but we sometimes do get around 400 on certain watch-alongs. So yeah, go for it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new anyway, because it's a fantastic community we have on the United Stand. If you are new, get involved. Live comments on every show. We had the Skype show last night for people to call in. Live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got our Christmas party as well. I've purposely kept this back to within the watch along because you get the hardcore viewers. We're looking at the Christmas party, and the Christmas party will effectively be, we'll go live at 8 o'clock, but we'll stay live till probably about midnight, have a few drinks, get some regulars on, and just have a bit of a laugh and a bit of a chat and a bit of banter. So Christmas party should be good. We are looking at doing that. I don't know when we're going to do it. That's the thing, because I think we'll do it after the West Brom game. I think that's the night to do it, which is a week on Sunday. So I think we'll do it that night, shall we? Or should we do it? Well, I'm open to ideas about that. But while you're thinking about that as well, Red Rumours, Chen, it is back. It's just I was away for the weekend, so I couldn't film it. And then last week, we had the preview for the Watford game. So it's been away for 2 weeks. It will be back. My Hairdressers is a brand. It's one of these, these barbers. I can't remember what they call them. They're quite poncy, but I like it. Christmas Eve I ain't doing it on Christmas Eve. But let me know where you're watching from. That's what I've totally forgotten about this. Let me know where you are watching from, because this is my favourite part of the watch along. It's where I get to be really nosy. So let me know where you're watching from and what time it is, and you can give us a score prediction in there as well if you want, and I'll read all of that out. But whilst you'll start typing away, Marcus is here. How you doing, pal?
How you doing, mate? Can you just give me 2 minutes?
Yeah, I'm just asking people where they're watching from. Yeah. So are you whacking one off as well?
No, I'm not, mate. No, I'm not.
2 minutes would be too long. You only need 30 seconds.
I've just got to do something quickly with the kids. Yeah.
Oh God, no! We don't. You can't go from that to that. Anyway, we've got Jamaica for the Joker. We've got Typical Savage for Coventry. Kieran Littlewoods, Leeds, Dirty Leeds. Joke Singapore, 3:30 AM. Michael Scofield, that's dedication. Marvel Francis is in Jamaica. Say hello to the Joker. Pankaj is in India. Gibneys, Malahide, full of annoying Russians, says Kieran Byrne. I never know whether to take him serious or not. Fionn Curtin, Bazza Reed, Thomas Harley Blake, Manchester. Farouk says 7:33, Tottenham 4-0. Hello from Bulgaria, says Peter Johnson. Basingstoke, says Christian Moore 4-1. Watching from Jamaica, Mark, says J Bad. We've got a few Jamaicans on tonight. Big up, Jamaican. I'll give you a bit of a Jamaican accent for you. Bacon, you just say beer and can. Beer can. There you go. That's a good bit of Jamaican for you. Give me a mark out of 10. Manchester, originally from Barnsley, home of Tommy Taylor. Tommy Taylor, the best striker Manchester United have ever had. Goal ratio, sensational. And for England, I think he died at 26 or 27. Amazing striker. He would have been our all-time top scorer. Died in Munich. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic striker. Really, really good. Wasn't originally a Busby Babe through the team, though. We think we signed him from Barnsley. Malaysia, 3:30 AM, says Rashdeep. 11:45 AM in USA, says Fanjo. Tipperary for Daz is 7. India, USA, Dubai, Syria, Norway, Iraq, Thailand, Cumbria, Bradford, Rochdale, Mkhitaryan. No, he's asking. Luke Mo's asking about Mkhitaryan. I thought it was a place. May as well be. It's not going anywhere. West Java, says Yuda. 10-0. Cornwall, Jim Stiffield. Romania, Norway, North Korea, Wigan. I'm going to Jamaican again. Wigan, Montreal, Dublin. Sanders' mum's house, says Iris XHD. I hope Sanders not here to see that. Honduras, says Wandaran. And Seattle, says Iceman. Jeez. Mkhitaryan's finished, says Free Mkhitaryan. Indonesia, North Pole. I tell you what, I'm going to give a big shout out to Indonesia, because we always seem to get a lot of people watching from Indonesia for the watch along. So big up Indonesia. We have got 10 minutes to hit 1,000 likes, and we've actually, without much promotion, we are blitzing towards it. So if you've not liked the video yet, please do.
I'm back.
Marcus is back, which is going to give me a couple of minutes in a minute to go and set up my TV, which will only take me a couple of minutes to do. But
and change McTominay.
Oh, I'm not changing that. That's the joy of live TV. There are mistakes. Thoughts on the team, mate? What?
Well, I was just going to say, you're not very tanned for Dubai, are you?
I haven't been to Dubai. I don't know where this has all come from. Centre Parks, me.
Centre Parks.
Winter Wonderland.
How you doing then? All right, yeah?
Good, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
How long is it since we did it together?
Oh, a couple of weeks now.
That's not been
couple of weeks, yeah.
But as I was saying, you know, people are saying, Mark, don't do the watch along on Sunday. You missed the big game against Chelsea, we won. You missed the big game against Arsenal, we won. Give us the hat-trick and don't do the watch-along on Sunday. But we already know I am doing it, but it's on me if we lose. It's a big thing to sort of put your neck on the line for. But, yeah. Tonight first. Thoughts on tonight's team?
I'm actually quite surprised by it, to be honest. It's a very strong team. I'd be very Well, I wouldn't be very upset. I'd be a bit disappointed if we didn't win by, say, 2 or 3 clear goals. Um, I think a lot of people will be watching Rashford tonight. He hasn't performed quite well in his last few games. Lukaku starting again, could end his goal drought and get back firing. Mkhitaryan as well. Bit strange not to see him on the bench. Usually he does quite well in Europe. That was a bit strange, but obviously the big talking point is Luke Shaw, isn't it, at left back?
Yeah.
Absolutely great to see him back, but I've said for a couple of months now I think the writing's on the wall for him. So
well, you might not be wrong. You might not be wrong based
Yeah.
on a quote I've just seen, and I'm not 100% sure if it's true. He doesn't live as clean a life as he should. Paul Scholes on Luke Shaw. I mean, that's damning from a United legend. I mean, I always liked Scholes when we had Van Gaal because he dug him out, and I wanted him to be dug out because he was rubbish. But I don't the class of '92 do worry me a bit about United. I think at the moment some of their comments are quite damaging when we're doing well, but I don't know. I don't know where I stand on that. You know, saying that about a player who plays for the club you support and a fellow professional, sort of outing them publicly that they don't live the life they should is a bit hard.
Yeah, it is a bit harsh, isn't it? And Paul Scholes, as you said there, through the Van Gaal reign, he was right a lot of the times, majority of the times. He was very right in speaking up about the type of football that was being played, the way Van Gaal was managing the team, etc. So if that's what he's come out and said about Luke Shaw, it'll be interesting to see what the fans' reaction is to that. I mean, would they back Luke Shaw? Did they back Paul Scholes in the comments? Be interesting to find out. So,
well, I might just leave you with that for a minute, just to interact with the comments, because I've just got to go and plug my. That's not that. I'm not plugging that in. I'm going to go and plug my. Oh, I'm all embarrassed now. She's not even in. Can't plug her in. I'm going to go and plug in the TV. So I'll be about 60 seconds, and then we'll be right before kickoff. But yeah, might be worth getting the viewers' thoughts on that. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, okay then, guys. So, what do you think about that comment then from Paul Scholes? He's not been living the life that he should have been. So, do you agree with it? What he said? Are you going to back Luke Shaw now and hopefully turn it around, seeing as we've been linked with Danny Rose in January? I did read tonight as well that Manchester United are pretty certain they could get Danny Rose for 50 million. So is that over the odds for him? Let us know. Vishwas says the chair, yeah. Chad said, would I rather finish first or second in the group? I'd rather finish first. I just think once you qualified, there's no easy games once you hit the knockout stages, so bring them on as far as I'm concerned. Someone's just called me a dirty Londoner. Never mind. That might have gone with you all called Callum, yeah. Iris wants a shout out, there we go. Theon prefer Alexandro. Lamia Saeed says Rose will be great for us. John Carlos, no to Rose. Jake says hiya mate. So look, have you guys rebreathed teeth? No, I haven't actually, no. Totally, I don't want to see Rose, he's too old. David Tapgun. Danny Rose, what is he, 28? Established, already at the top of his game. Do you reckon Mourinho sort of like run out of patience with Luke Shaw now? It's a hard one. Mr. Zaki boy, who do you want to face in round 16? Anyway, it don't really bother me, mate. For me, probably the harder the better. So I want to see how this team gets up against a decent team. AJ says Old Trafford looks like the empty head. Oh, really? Okay. Chad said Rose isn't old. No, I don't. He's not old, is he? He's only 28, I think. Carl Plasek Rose's experience and is solid, but a fit Luke Shaw is better. Yeah. So I hope everyone has liked and shared the video and subscribe if you're new. Twix says I'm lovely. Oh, thanks, Twix. That's all right. Won't get Rose for 40 mil. Levy, you're stingy. Says Comfort. Okay. Kwame, with Mourinho's stubbornness, Scholes' comments could be the best thing that ever happened to Shaw. Mourinho hates Einstein's talking about his players. Do you know what, Kwame? That's a good point. Yeah, it might give him a kick up the backside. It really will. Rose is coming back from injury too, says Christopher. Yep.
Took me a little bit longer than that did normal.
Oh, that's all right, mate. That's all right. It was just talking about Danny Rose, Mark. And what do you think about him, getting him in January, if Luke Shaw's not going to do the job?
To be honest, I hope Luke Shaw does the job. I like Luke Shaw. I think tonight's a massive game for him in relation to that. Danny Rose, if Luke Shaw's not going to be the player, then yeah, wouldn't be opposed to that. What about you?
I'm all for it, to be honest. I think if Luke Shaw, whether it's a mental problem, an attitude problem, whatever it is, if Mourinho's not going to put his trust and put his faith in him and give him a good run of games, then yeah, it's obvious we need a left-sided left back. So it's probably best for him and best for Mourinho and for the club that we parted ways. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I do think to a point he's been unfairly treated, singled out by Mourinho in certain ways.
Who?
Luke Shaw.
Oh yeah. I thought you'd moved on from somebody else then. Yeah.
So
I think tonight is almost a Christmas gift for those people who like Luke Shaw, because it is a lot of people didn't think he'd be given an opportunity. And I'm not going to say he's going to play well tonight, but what I am going to say is that this is the opportunity. If he doesn't play well tonight, then maybe I'd have to open my eyes and say it's not going to work out. But I'm happy he's starting the game. It is an important game, and yeah, fantastic. You got your Christmas tree up?
I have, mate. It's all up. It got put up on the 1st, which was Friday.
Good.
You've got yours up, haven't you? Yeah.
I have. Happy Christmas to all Christians out there and everybody else who celebrates the birth of Santa. Do you think Shaw can make it? I think that's the big question, isn't it? We will. I don't think we'll definitely find out tonight whether he will or he won't. But
we'll certainly be able to gauge how well he's come back from the injury. Because if you see him pulling out 50-50 challenges, then I think it's pretty safe to assume that the problem he's got is mental. So I'll be interested to see how he goes in tonight in his tackles.
It's interesting as well because he's although he's not played much since September, he hasn't got himself injured like Luke Shaw. Phil Jones has gone and got himself injured quite a few times and got back, but Luke Shaw has stayed fit and training for 3 months. So the game's kicked off anyway. You should see the timer at the top below the score, and funnily enough, their first ball they play is to Luke Shaw, and he doesn't jump for the header. But yeah, there's a few players on the pitch today that make it interesting. Mata, I'm a big fan of him.
Yes, definitely.
But Rashford, as you quite rightly highlighted, Luke Shaw. In fact, he's just lost the ball there. But Luke Shaw, obviously, Lukaku. It'd be nice for him to get a goal, although I did think he played really well at the weekend. Daley Blind is playing in a 3 at the back. There was some potential talk of him not playing in a back 3 because of where he was listed in the team lineup issued by Manchester United, but he's definitely playing in a 3-5-2 on that left hand side, taking Rojo's place. Just a big quick shout out before I go back to Marcus as well. We could hit 155,000 subscribers tonight, so if you are new to the United Stand, make sure you click that subscribe button and join the best football community on YouTube. Not just Manchester United, but I think we're officially the best football community on YouTube as well. Absolutely superb community. We've got banter, real football talk, and a great camaraderie. And I hope all this Chad bantering is just banter and not bullying, because he's taking some L's again tonight. And I like Chad. as I like you all. But Moscow on the attack. They, interestingly enough, I don't think we can go out. I think we've got to lose by 7 goals or something. But that doesn't mean it's a dead rubber game for Moscow. They are level on points with Basel on 9, and if they were to win, they're probably going to get themselves through in second place. So everything to play for Moscow, which again just adds to the interest. The fact that Luke Shaw's playing in a competitive game. It's a good, nice, competitive home game for some players to get a bit of sharpness ahead of that massive game against City at the weekend.
Yeah, I mean it's obvious that's the game that we're all looking towards. Jose's obviously looking towards it with his team selection as well. In terms of, I've heard contrasting reports. I've seen Draughty on Twitter saying we need to lose by so many amount of goals to not qualify. I was under the assumption we needed at least a point from tonight to qualify.
I think that's to finish top of the group.
Ah, right, okay. So
to be honest, I don't understand the permutations myself. It's just what I've read that we need to score. We would need to lose by 7 to go out, okay. And Basel obviously need to win. But I think we need a point to finish top of the group.
So would you take top, Mark, or would you want to finish second?
I think definitely top. I think the Champions League this year, just focusing on the Champions League because that's what we're playing at the moment. The Champions League this year is going to be one of the better Champions Leagues. So competitive. You've got obviously the normal people like Real Madrid and Barca, Bayern Munich, PSG, Italian clubs like Juventus, and then the English clubs. So I think it's really going to be very interesting. And I know Real Madrid are going to finish second in their group, so that means if we finish top, we could play there. He's got to score this.
1-0. No,
Is it the post?
Off the post. Off the post.
Martial would have buried that.
Unlucky. I mean, to be fair to the lad, it is on his left foot, I think, but what a pass by Lukaku.
Great build-up play.
Oh, I mean, he's done everything right there. It's just a little bit of a scuff, but he's caught it with the inside of his left foot. Unlucky. Great start for United, though.
Yeah, it should be 1-0 up.
Yeah.
Good bit of play. I mean, that's the difference between Martial and Rashford, I think, at the moment. Good play all round. He hits the post. I think Martial, you've got no doubt, but there's 2 years difference, and what a player to have around to learn from. So,
a big game, I think, tonight for Lindelof to continue his learning process, I suppose, of the Manchester United team. He's done well in his last couple of games. So it'd be good for him to get some consistency, because I would assume with Bailly and Jones still injured, he's probably a sure thing for the derby Sunday.
Yeah, I don't think Bailly's another one where we don't actually know what his injury situation is. I know Jones is back in training, but I don't think Bailly is, and I think that's a quick turnaround even if he did get back to put him in a game like that.
Well, you're probably seeing, I would say, the same formation for Sunday with the 3 at the back, and it'll probably be the same against the same back 3 that we had against Arsenal.
Big game for Herrera as well. He's been very rusty of late, and he's going to have a massive part to play in the game against City. Lukaku again.
Yeah.
Sure. Oof, block. So entertaining start from United so far.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking lively. I mean, Lukaku there running the channels, right-footed ball across the box.
Yeah, Lukaku's doing. I mean, that's why I want Lukaku to get a goal, really, because his build-up play has been really good. Somebody just said, Marcus, what do you want from Santa for Christmas? That's a good question. Good question.
Yeah,
What's on the Christmas list this year? Are you one big present or loads of?
No, I'm very much a grown-up kid. I like loads of little ones, mate.
Yeah, I used to have a list.
Yeah, I like these little pop vinyl things. They used to be called bobbleheads back in the day. So I'm probably get a sack full of them, I think, this year. So Moscow keeping hold of the ball, taking their time with it. Lukaku's out here on the right hand side. Got
there's a front two, isn't it?
The middle there, yeah.
Lynn Hall says so much mystery surrounding United injuries at the moment, probably to keep the opposition guessing. Yeah, and Andrew Ellis says, how's Luke Shaw playing? He's doing okay. You know, there's elements of rustiness to his game, but I would expect that. I mean, let's not expect miracles. He's not played in the first team for a long time, and it's, you know, whilst I would expect United to beat Moscow, there's still a Champions League game, and he's up against his man there. He's blocked it.
Yeah, what was Pogba missing as well? I mean, you mentioned it earlier about with Herrera. Big chance for Herrera tonight as well.
Pogba's just, I mean, already, Pogba's just, for me, Pogba's just comfortably the best box-to-box midfielder in the league, and he's a massive, massive miss on Sunday. And you know, we all talk about it and we know it, but you know, it is a massive miss.
Oh yeah, it is a miss, but I don't think it's a major meltdown.
No, we've got to be able to do it,
we're missing Pogba, we're not going to win. United have, you know, I don't think we've ever relied on a one-man team.
No, I think we did. I think the danger is that if we did lose on Sunday, we are a one-man team because we had a bad October without him, and we need to do better tonight. I mean, Ben, I tell you what, here's a bit of money for you, just in case you do little fancy. Well, it's too late to do the bet now, but Basel are beating Benfica at the moment, and if you looked at that Champions League group, and they're winning 1-0 away to Benfica as well. Who'd have thought that Benfica would finish this group 6 games, 0 points? What were the odds?
Yeah, that's very, very strange, isn't it? Usually they're quite a decent team in Europe.
Yeah.
Very hard to break down traditionally.
I don't think anybody's in danger, are they, of going out tonight? Chelsea are safe. Atletico Madrid could be going out.
Yeah, they're away, aren't they, to Chelsea? They're at the bridge, I think, tonight.
As United on the attack. Rashford switch the play. Lovely. Yeah. Valencia.
Joel, there was a great bit of strength there in that build-up play by Massa. He looked like he had a shoulder barge or something in the back, but being so small, he's not the biggest lad, is he? And he stayed on his feet there. Got the ball out to Valencia and it's out for a corner. Hell of a shot that was.
Daily Blind blocked in the corner.
Yeah, I think tonight as well, with Daily Blind on the pitch, do you know what? That was going on target as well from Blind. Yeah, I think with Blind on the pitch, he posed, I think, a little bit more of a threat from corners because his delivery is normally pretty decent. Luke Shaw done well there, tracking back, shuffling it out of play.
Good steady start. He's going for the Goldbridge haircut with Luke Shaw as well. That's why he's playing well.
Oh, small and down, free kick. Thank you, ref.
Yeah, we don't want to pick any other injuries tonight. Definitely not.
No. Obviously, priority is to make sure we go through, and a very, very close second is no injuries. Just get through the game unscathed, and that'll be it, I think, for me.
I think Herrera's massively important in the derby. We need to see the Herrera
of old.
Yeah. Orison's made a contribution. Thank you, Orison. He says the late Eusebio is turning in his grave. Obviously, ex-Benfica superstar. Yeah, I don't know what's going on at Benfica. We got Lindelof from there, and they seem to be a good conveyor belt of players. But at the moment, they're obviously struggling a little bit. I suppose all clubs go through a cycle, don't they? United ourselves, not even in the Champions League for the last couple of years.
So, Moscow coming down our left. Sure, they don't seem... they're not too bothered, are they, about coming forward? They just seem to be playing the hopeful passes and genuinely...
Well, they need to win.
Yeah.
But I suppose coming to an away ground, you don't just go gung-ho, do you? It's about, feeling your way into the game. of which they've nearly done it there, but Smalling's intercepted.
Wouldn't surprise me if they took a bit of notice of the last game, the Basel result.
Yes.
You know, keep it as long as you can at 0-0, and then last 2 minutes nick it. They've had a shot there, which is quite comfortable from Romero.
154,000, nearly 700, so we're 300 short of 155,000. So if in the lulls you want to share the video, or even subscribe if you haven't done, we could hit another big landmark tonight of 155,000, which would be amazing for the community. Be back live again tomorrow as per usual at 8 o'clock, and we will have, it's not too far off now when you think about it. I mean, Sunday's result obviously will dictate what's going to happen for the rest of our season and whether we're in a title race or not, but January transfer window will open up in just over 3 weeks time, so we will be back with the 7 AM transfer show all through January, every morning at 7 o'clock, transfer daily on the United Stand. That's between May the 1st and August the 31st and January the 1st and January the 31st. So that'll be back. We'll still be doing the 8 o'clock live shows, but we'll have the transfer daily show for you as well. So that's coming up. And we've got a few Red Rumours specials before that, looking at the sort of players we might go for. I'm not convinced we're getting this Goretzka from Schalke. I'm not convinced that there's anything in that at all.
You think it's just paper talk then, do you?
2 + 2 is 6, I think. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to him, but yeah. Kyle Reed says Mark's a legend. All I want for him, all I want for Christmas is me. Oh God.
Rashford's took an elbow in the back of the head there.
He looks a big lad. That they're basically wearing our away kit, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. We're just watching the replay back from the counter attack we had.
Yeah, lovely by Lukaku. Lovely first touches. Nice little pass. He's got to score, really. Doesn't connect with it well. It's not a smooth connection.
No. It's like he's hit it into the ground, didn't he, straight away. Couple of bounces on the way through. So, Blind bringing it out from the back. Over the top. Mata. Lovely takedown.
Oh, touch of a... There we go, Rashford again. Good save, keeper. Mata playing well though as well.
Yeah.
Smalling again. You changed your mind about Smalling yet?
No, not yet, mate. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Sunday, mate.
Heart of stone.
You watch Sunday. I guarantee you, you'll do a mistake, and it will cost us.
We ain't done one for 4 bloody months.
Guarantee.
That's what you're like, isn't it? Waiting for one mistake.
I do admit that he has played well when we needed him.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's where would we? I don't. I mean, to be honest, I think if everyone's fit, he's probably still not first choice centre back. But where would we be without him this last 4 weeks, especially because Bay and Jones just not there, are they? So.
No, and it's also a bit of a blessing that Rojo come back as well, that quick.
Yeah, yeah. And Lindelof turned it round. You know, all three of them have been fantastic.
And to be honest, you know what? When Bay comes back from injury, it wouldn't surprise me if he's on the bench. You know, because it's going to take a good effort to get his place back with the way these three are playing at the minute. They did very well against Watford, very well against Arsenal. And if they do the job again on Sunday, Luke Shaw on a run here.
Oh, not going to get past
still
4.
Got it. Yeah, still got it.
Well, that'll please the home support. And that's what Luke Shaw's got. That, you know, people can talk about Danny Rose and people like that, but Luke Shaw, when he's got that burst of pace with the ball at his feet, like Tube says, like Pete Giggs, he's got that turn of pace.
George is digging me out now because I said Smalling's been all right this season. He's put no
George
Marcus,
is just a Smalling hater.
Admit nothing. Smalling needs to go. Right, corner for United. Left hand side. In by Blind. Or just over Pogba's head. No, it's surprising me how far up our centre backs are pushed up there. When Lindelof picked the ball up, probably about 25 yards outside the box.
Shaw's looking very good, says Max 226.
One pop will use your strength. Oh, could have been a free kick there. Right, Moscow on the counter.
This is what we need to be careful about with City. Someone else keep that.
Yeah. It took Daily Blind to come out and tidy it up. Lynn Hall says Herrera really needs to show his energy and fight like last year. Want to see him go forward more. Yeah. I think that goes for a lot of players though, doesn't it? We know what they're capable of, but they're just not getting the game time, that consistent run of form.
Well, Fatty just made a good point. He says Mourinho's just showing the world that Luke Shaw's a good player, so he can swap him for Danny Rose. I mean, there could be something in that.
Could be, yeah.
I'm sure if Luke Shaw's available, there'd be a lot of people looking at him tonight on that first 20 minutes going, you know what, he can do a job for us. I mean, personally, I think he can do a job for Manchester United, so, and hopefully that's the case, but there could be something in that. Maybe we are putting him in the shop window.
Well, I think a lot of the fans would be disappointed to see him go. Like I said earlier, I think his time is up, but I agree that he hasn't been given a fair crack at it.
I think Lukaku's looking very sharp tonight.
He is, yeah. He's playing well. Considering you think he's not been scoring, so confidence should be low. But he's really putting a shift in the first 20 minutes. So we've got Rashford down the left-hand side here. Going past two.
Cut back.
Chip it in. Yeah. Shaw into the box. Oh.
So Herrera's had a good start as well for those just wondering about how United have started. I mean, it's not been vintage, but there's been good aspects to our play.
Luke Shaw. Oh!
Ooh!
Unlucky.
Oh,
Unlucky.
Luke Shaw. What a goal that would have been. Crossed by Valencia onto the back stick, and Luke Shaw just whacked it. I don't know if it was the full volley or the half volley, and keeper made a good save, and Lukaku it was nearly a double bonus for us, because Shaw's goal would have been great, but then Lukaku with a tap-in would have been equally as good, but good keeping by their goalkeeper.
So and CSKA counter-attacked us from that bit of play, and Ander Herrera there just absolutely bombed back from one half of the pitch to the other.
I think Herrera is going to be so important in the derby, and if he can find some form, and I'm a big fan of Herrera, but he hasn't been playing well this season. I thought against Arsenal he came on and played well for that short cameo, but he's not been the Herrera of last season, and if we can just get Herrera back for a game like this, But this hit from Luke Shaw on the volley, it was deserved a goal. That it's one of them moments that almost, if that goes in, he solves everything, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he could have said there, Lukaku should have buried the rebound there, but it's the way his luck's going at the minute.
Well, hopefully he'll get another chance. Mata has played well, John Sherrill, you're right, he's great at, and it was first time, says Oyson Keedy.
Moscow just trying to slow the game down, catch the breath a bit.
Carl Ford's joining the George Kyle anti-Smalling brigade. He says, not a football expert, don't need to be an expert to know Smalling isn't United quality. I don't know where you've been for the last month, mate, but I think whether you hate Smalling or not, he's the reason that Ozil, one of the best crossers in the game, looked like looked very average at the weekend because he was probably putting decent ball in, but Smalling's so dominant in the air at the moment. It's not all about what you do on the floor. You've got Lindelof and Rojo for that. I think he works really, like Ross says, I think he works well in a 3.
Well, Luke Shaw's in again. Oh, unlucky.
Oh.
Fantastic run by Luke Shaw there.
Wow. He'll be right. His confidence will be on fire.
I mean, that's the difference between Shaw and Ashley Young at left back. You know, Luke Shaw's able to get them runs in behind the defences and get that ball across the box.
Well, I don't think we need to sign a left back. I don't. I think he's. I've always said it. I mean, I've been proven right a lot this season, and I've also been proved wrong a few times. Matic, but I did say about Lindelof. I remember Vidic when he came, he was rubbish, and he turned into one of the best centre backs in the world. I'm not saying Lindelof will be one of the best centre backs in the world, but I think he'll be a good centre back for us. And I've said about Luke Shaw loads of times. I think he's one of the best left backs in the world when he's on his game. He's just got to stay fit and stay consistent. Why would you? I mean, Danny Rose is good, but why would you sign Danny Rose over Luke Shaw when he's 5 years older than Luke Shaw? He's smaller than Luke Shaw, and he's not as good as going forward as Luke Shaw.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it?
I totally agree with people who want Danny Rose over Luke Shaw. I don't agree with him, but I understand it because, like Luke Shaw, over the last 2 years, it's not been great. He's not been fit a lot, but for me, he's not Phil Jones yet. He's young enough that he can be consistent and stay fit.
I think that's the problem, isn't it? It's some people say he's put on weight,
but he should have had a goal and an assist.
Yeah,
he could have had a rocket goal and a really good assist from a great run. Unfortunately, he's had neither.
But the positive thing is that he's going forward, which before he had that injury, that horrific injury, he was doing that very, very well, and we were all saying, what a fantastic left back we got in that season. I think it was under the Van Gaal season, wasn't it? Yeah. He was the best player in United at that time, and I think the only reason it could be, mate, is it's got to be a mental thing. It really has for me.
I mean, I don't know whether there's any truth in what Scholes said. We only saw it in the live comments that Scholes was saying he doesn't live the life he should do, which I think is not a very helpful comment, really. But FNAO says, thanks for the contribution, by the way. He says, Shaw's ready. Wake up, Mourinho, and stop excuses. Well, he looks ready tonight on this 20 minutes. And remember, we're not playing the dog and duck. We're playing CSKA Moscow, who do need a win. And, I'm not saying that they're a fantastic side, but it's a Champions League side, and it's like I say, it's not the dog and duck he's playing against. He's playing minute 1 in a competitive game.
I've not heard that saying for a while, dog and duck.
For anyone who's interested tonight, 3 AM, day 5 of the Ashes. You can stay up and watch England blow it. I wouldn't bother. Well, in Herrera.
Yeah, he's getting stuck in very well tonight. Very well.
Well, people saying this was a dead rubber game. It's actually been, very interesting. Some really good performances at a time where we need them.
Mata again, fantastic. Oh, unlucky. So his first touch, Mata tonight, has been fantastic, but that one there is just let him down. Right. CSK shot outside the box, well over.
See, Beastmaster says Luke Shaw's 6'1", fast beach. Luke Shaw doesn't look any bigger than 5'8" to me, but everywhere, I think it even says it on Wikipedia that Luke Shaw is 6'1", and I've said it before, and people say no way, he's not that big.
Well, I gotta say, you don't look 6 foot to me.
No, he doesn't look 6 foot to me, but I'm sure. I'm just going to check it now. I'm sure. Yeah. Wikipedia, and that's been like that for 3 years. He's 6'1".
Maybe because of the broadness of his shoulders.
Yeah. Nathan van der Post has subscribed to the channel. Welcome, pal. We're closing in on 155,000 subscribers. We could do it tonight. So remember, if you're new to the channel, do click that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner and click the bell if you haven't done that already to get all our notifications when we go live. And don't just watch us for the watch-alongs. Join in. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. Lots going on. We had a Skype show last night every Monday at 8 o'clock where you can Skype in. Fantastic community, as you can see with the live comments. So get involved with the channel. Rashford, nice bit of skills. Overhits the pass to Lukaku. Final ball's just been slightly off with United so far. I think we probably do deserve to be ahead, but we're not at the moment. It's still 0-0. And Kieran3687 says, score predictions. I have subscribed, by the way. David Lloyd says that he's 6'2" and Luke Shaw looks a lot smaller than him. Well, I'm 6 foot and he looks smaller than me. But Draughty Devil says Christmas studio on its way. # secret. I have seen the pictures. We're looking forward to putting that up. Yeah. Had some great Christmas cards from other YouTubers.
Draughty also says that Coco the cat will be back.
Coco the cat, rest in peace.
Connor C says Luke Shaw looks the size of Dennis Wise. He's a very small man.
He is.
Yeah. He does not look over 6 foot at all. He doesn't even look 6 foot.
Ty Williams says Luke Shaw is arguably one of the most exciting left backs United have ever had, and Jose wants to let him leave.
Free kick there.
Damien Smith has just subscribed from Phoenix, Arizona, and says it's a great channel. Welcome, pal.
Good tidying up there by Valencia, just outside the box.
Beastmaster64 says he's 6 foot and Luke Shaw looks a little bigger than him. Well, that would be 6'1". No, Coco the cat's not died, Matthew. He's he's just well, he might be back by the sounds of it.
United throwing right hand side. What a waste. So we've had the chances, Mark, but as you said just now, final ball is lacking a bit.
Yeah.
But on a positive note, Lukaku's been making some pretty decent runs, just hasn't been found yet. I'm quite surprised Lindelof's getting so far forward as well, coming out from the back. But he used to do that at Benfica a lot, didn't he? He used to come out with the ball and...
Confidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
Musk on the attack at the moment, down the left.
Dangerous ball in there. Tidied up by Shaw.
See, for all the good he does, Luke Shaw going forward, Mourinho will be looking at that and going... Cross coming into his side, and Luke Shaw, to be fair, a little bit late. But he still won it. Oh, corner. Shot over the bar.
But at least he had a look around and see where the danger was.
Yeah.
I mean, that, the Arsenal goal. We had 3 defenders there just watching that lad just run right through him. Who was it? Lacazette, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you start Zlatan for the derby, says Robert Scully. No from me.
No way. No, yeah, no way from me as well. Yeah.
I don't think it's his sort of game. I think it's going to be very quick and lots of little dinky passes. I'd consider bringing him on in the last 20 minutes because he hates Pep.
Yeah.
But the news on Zlatan is obviously he's been on the bench and coming on off the bench for the last few games, but didn't make the bench against Arsenal. He's not made the bench tonight, and Mourinho's basically saying that is because he is still recuperating, and sometimes part of that recuperation means he puts more work in, and then it's the recovery from the fatigue, and that's why he's missed the last 2 games. So he's not injured, it's just the recovery process. And to be honest, I think that's why Rojo's not involved either tonight. It's they've both come back from severe knee injuries, and it takes a bit of time.
Luke Shaw again, another fantastic piece of defending. Left side, our corner flag.
Matteen, the score is 0-0. I haven't even put the score up. Well observed with that, Matteen. I was about to say check the scoreboard, and I haven't done it.
Got to say, I was so scared doing that Saturday.
What, the scoreboard?
Yeah.
Did you change it throughout?
Yeah. I was quite proud of myself after.
Well, you got 3,000 likes as well. I never push it after 1,000. I'm going to have to do that on Sunday. Ross says you've got to have 3,000 likes to guarantee a United win, so we'll be doing it on Sunday.
Yes. I think, I hate to say it, but I think we set a new benchmark for you.
Yeah, it did very well. Like I say, I was just in a pub getting pissed. It was great.
I suppose it made a nice change for you, didn't it, to actually watch the game?
Yeah, it was. I was still tweeting a lot because I wasn't doing the watch-along, but I had a good. I think I had about 6 pints during the 90 minutes, and it was nice to be in a packed pub. And obviously, being in Nottingham, there wasn't many. There was a few United fans, but not many. Funnily enough, there was some City fans watching it as well. But so there was a lot of banter going on. But I was just proper celebrating it. It was great.
Luke Shaw. Oh, well done, Shaw. 50-50 there, look. You went in for it. He's cleared it.
Favour, the lineup's going on the bottom of the screen, but I'll do you a favour and tell you. It's Romero in goal, Valencia, Lindelof, Smalling, Blind, Luke Shaw, left wing back, Pogba and Herrera, Mata, and then Rashford and Lukaku up front. And Lukaku, he's let that come down. He needed to hit that better there.
Too long.
Yeah. So lovely ball by Pogba. He's got to just attack that. It's not easy, but he's waited too long on that, and he's just ended up cutting it back. But
he could have let it bounce once, but twice I think the moment's gone, hasn't it? But United, I think, still in the ascendancy, still pushing forward, still searching for the goal. We're not just resting on our laurels, like. And
Andrew Ellis, controversial as ever. He says Lukaku's been a flop for me. I don't agree with you on that one, Andrew, but I'll let the live comments have a go. Snoke is Mark, says Michael K.
Well, you know what? I've never seen that before. Lukaku, Pogba getting pushed off the ball, 1-on-1.
Only a week on. Is it a week Thursday? Star Wars is out.
Yeah.
Are you going on the Thursday?
I'm going on Thursday, mate. 1:30.
I'm not going until Saturday.
All right. Okay. I shall be avoiding Twitter probably about 24 hours beforehand.
Does it all come out at the same time?
I think Japan. I think they're having their preview this week.
Bastards.
But of course, it'll be the same thing as the last one. To
be fair though, I didn't watch the last one till 2 days after it had come out, and I had no idea. I feared they were going to kill Han Solo off, but I hadn't heard officially he was going to die. So
spoilers.
Well, come on, if people haven't watched Force Awakens by now, 2 years later, I'm sorry. I need to watch Force Awakens actually.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it Wednesday next week. Moscow. That's right, we've got it out. Matters, give it away there. Dangerous. All
Well in, Luke Shaw.
Oh,
Took the ball. He
yeah,
went down for a pen.
He went through the back of him, though.
Mm.
Sent them given. But, you know, Mata giving the ball away quite sloppily. Yeah, well in, Shaw, well in.
Yeah,
you could have bottled that and just stood him up.
Connor C says that the opening scene of The Last Jedi, it will start with Snoke saying hello and welcome to the United Stand. I'm now Snoke, am I? Yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, well, we don't want to start talking about it because people are. I know who Snoke is anyway. I've read a lot of stuff. I know who it is.
Oh, text it to me later then.
I will.
So, right, just calming things down after that bit of play there from Moscow.
Kyle Wilcrott is with us because he can't watch the game on the telly. Don't need to watch it on the telly. If you are watching it on the telly, just mute your audio because that's what watch-alongs are all about.
Herrera's been pinging the ball around quite well tonight. Lukaku tracking back on Herrera. He's in again. And again.
Yeah.
I think he's been quite solid tonight.
Well, like I say, we need Herrera back to the Herrera of last season for Sunday, especially with Herrera being out, Pogba being out.
Well, apparently, I'm getting accused. People seem to think I'm Ross. Apparently, so George thinks.
Kwame's right. Snoke equals Pep. Matthew McFadden's made a contribution. Thank you, Matthew. Says Lingard's been terrific. Says the commentator. I think he's done all right. The standout players for me are obviously Luke Shaw. I think Herrera's played well as well.
I've been very impressed with Luke Shaw. He's been out for absolutely ages, and first 39 minutes, I think he's been a revelation. And again, another great tackle there.
He is. He's doing he's head and shoulders above everybody else at the moment.
Yeah. Do you know what? I wonder, just wonder if there's a slight chance he could start Sunday and make sure Kyle Walker gets pushed back.
Nah, I think Ashley Young's nailed on, and to be fair to Ashley Young, it'd be harsh. But
on the attack here, Pogba's passed it out to Rashford.
He's got to look at Herrera. Yeah, he won't do it in time. Holds on. This is Rashford's problem. Holds on to his final ball is sometimes lacking. He's got to be looking quicker than that. You know, Herrera was in a corner for United.
Great hold-up play there and strength by Pogba. Three people chasing him on that left-hand side.
I don't know what Rashford's doing there. Herrera's throwing his hands down because there's him and Mata on the back post with a 2-on-1 situation. Rashford's like pissing around doing little step-overs and that with 4 players around him. He's got to get rid of it. Get it out of his feet. John Sherrell's right. Too many touches.
Corner from United results in goalie catching it.
Chad Sproul says Mark is Lingard world class. I'm going to start picking on you now, Chad. That comment's just ridiculous. So Man City are playing in Russia tomorrow. I didn't realise that. Shakhtar Donetsk. I thought they were at home for some reason. So I don't know whether there's anything in travel and anything like that anyway, to be honest. But we've got a day extra. The reality is it helps us a little bit because we're going to do more running than City anyway.
You think so?
Yeah, I think we'll have to do. I think they'll have a lot of the ball. City can't defend, so they're not going to sit. I mean, I think Pep would love a point against us, but I think he's going to have to come and play to win it because I don't think his team can defend.
I think I agree with you about their bubble bursting because their last couple of games they've looked quite sluggish to me. Especially against West Ham, they seem to run out of ideas. Like they didn't have the answer for it until very late on again.
It's just a shame they've been playing poor teams, because I think they would have they've come unstuck against top half sides the way they've been playing recently. But that's our opportunity at the weekend.
Yeah. Well, they got a tough run of fixtures, haven't they, over Christmas? So
I know they've got Spurs. If we can beat them, I mean it's a big if, but if we can beat them, that would bring it down to 5 points. And then they've got Luke Shaw. Then they've got Spurs coming up as well. I mean, to be honest though, we haven't got an easy set of fixtures after City. We've got Bournemouth at home, which we should win, and then we've got West Brom and Leicester away before Christmas. So, we'll have to keep on it ourselves.
Well, actually, looking at a replay there, I think that was a corner, Mark. Yeah, it was. Yeah, should have been a corner there.
I'd bring Martial on for Rashford second half as well. Somebody just said there, I'd agree with
that. JC Carpet says Silva may be out of Derby. I wouldn't believe that until you actually see the lineup.
If you've not subscribed to the channel yet and you're new, please do subscribe. We're closing in on 155,000 subscribers, which would be great to do tonight while we're live. Another big landmark for the community, which is exactly what we are. And Valencia, that's got to be a penalty. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Well, Valencia's definitely getting there first. They're running into the box together and Valencia goes down.
Could have been. I think the rest tried to even that up with the Luke Shaw one.
Yeah. It's not a stone waller, and the foul, to be fair, starts outside the box, but it would have been a bit soft, to be honest.
Great run again, though, from Valencia, getting forward.
I think him and Young are going to be very important against City if we play the 3-5-2. Maximus Stel van Holsen says Lindelof better signing than Lukaku. Thoughts? Thanks for the contribution. It's an interesting one. I mean, I think Lukaku's been a better signing because of the goals he got at the start of the season, but over the last 3 games, you could argue that Lindelof's been better. But I do think Lukaku played very well against Arsenal.
He impressed me very, very much against Arsenal because he didn't have many chances. But he was there in the box, heading out from our area and making those runs into the channel, bringing other players into play.
Oh, Rashford. Bloody hell.
I think you'd probably say Rashford and Lukaku both need a goal each, don't they, really? Moscow's in round the back of us here. Cross. It's a goal.
1-0. It is.
It's offside. It's offside. No. I think the linesman blew that as offside, didn't he?
That's Luke Shaw get the blame for that. You know whose fault it was? Rashford.
Yeah. Smalling's the deepest of the lot. He's offside, yeah. I thought the linesman put his flag up.
How is it not offside?
I could have sworn I saw the linesman put his flag up for that. Not only is it offside, but it's also hit his hand as well, on the back of his arm.
Nil. Totally offside. Awful refereeing that. Well, for me, there's a few things on that, Marcus. One, it's totally offside, but I agree with Jack APHD. I mean, Rashford and his silly little flicks have. That's why we ended up in that situation with them catching us on the break a bit anyway. He's got to stop it.
It's.
He reminds me of Martial last year, trying too hard.
Yeah, he's always taking that extra touch, and he's trying to create that moment of brilliance, I suppose. But Mourinho, he doesn't look happy. But I could have sworn I saw that linesman put his flag up.
Well, it's 100% offside. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about that. But I think United, you've got to put your chances away, haven't you? And
That's it. I mean, we've had a couple, so it's not as if we're not creating anything. We've had a couple of chances. I mean, it's only for the fact that the post has saved them that we weren't 1-0 up in the first place. Shayor Badell says Blind played him on. A lot of people saying Blind kept him on side. I agree with St Colombo there. That's what I thought. Smalling was a bit too deep on the initial through ball. That's what I thought it was. I thought Smalling was playing them all on side.
oh, here we go.
No, honestly, Smalling was the deepest of the lot. Yeah, even Tube says that the blame game starts now. So I'm gonna go with the Smalling one for me. I did see him the deepest out of the three.
I'm not having any of that. I'm not having any blame portion to Chris Smalling. I think at the end of the day, the blame goes to Rashford and his silly final ball all the time. We had a chance. He could have put Herrera in. He starts doing bloody rollovers with 4 players like around him. Get rid of the ball. And then I think it was Luke Shaw gives him the ball there. He tries a silly flick, and the next thing Moscow are up at the other end. So I think Rashford needs to sort his game out at the moment. He's just trying too hard. He's a great player, great potential, but he's not played well for the last month. And his final, I think he should have scored that goal as well. I know it hit the post, but I don't think it was a very good contact. And I think he's had a bad half, and he's trying too hard. But it was off. It was totally offside, Marcus. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Yeah. I think the majority of the comments there are saying it was offside. Not only was it offside for me, but clearly touched his arm on the way in as well. So it's a shame that we've gone down one. We've had a goal conceded like that, but they haven't really threatened us either. So I mean, that's the most disappointing bit.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that we've hit the post, we've had a few chances ourselves, which have come from Rashford. So I think the obvious one now, we know it will happen. Martial will come on.
Yeah, definitely.
For Rashford, so we know that's going to happen at some time. But I think overall the positive is Luke Shaw for me. Absolutely fantastic first half.
Oh yeah, head and soul. I mean, I was going to say who was your man of the half, and I think Luke Shaw has been the bright spark in what has been quite a lethargic United side that should be in front. It's ridiculous that we're behind because we've pretty much dominated them. They've created very little. They've scored an offside goal at the end, but I think Herrera was. I mean, Abdullah's just said I think Herrera should be sold. I thought Herrera and Luke Shaw were the best players on the pitch, which were the real positives for me. But yeah, I think the worst player on the pitch would have to be Rashford. I just don't know what's gone wrong with him. He's a young lad, so there's plenty of time for him to sort it out. But at the moment, he looks like Martial of last year. He looks like he's trying way too hard, and his decision making concerns me. I don't know what he was doing that flick in the middle of the pitch for. We're not 4-0 up, we're 0-0, and they've gone and scored up the other end because of that.
Well, there's no need to do it, and when you're what were they, just outside the centre circle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So there was no need for it. The simple pass was on, but he decided to do a flick, and it didn't pay off. And from there, they counter-attacked us, and obviously they've got the goal. But a lot of people in the comments here saying, saying it's offside, it's not offside. Daley Blind was off the pitch.
I've seen George Kyle's just said that. Not offside. Blind played him on.
Yeah,
the only thing I'm thinking is when the shots hit, is Blind on the pitch? Because it's when the shot is hit. I mean, he's off the pitch when the ball's in the back of the net. But we'll have to wait because we'll see it again in a minute. But from what I saw, if it's what everyone thinks, and the shot is by whoever, but the ball clearly he's interfering with play, he's offside. So we'd have to see that back in slow time. But regardless, I'm not losing any sleep the fact that we're 1-0 down. We're 1-0 down, whether it's offside or not. Nothing can change that. We'll have to come out in the second half and get the goals that I'm sure we can do. But the reality is we shouldn't be in that situation. It's sloppy, and we've had the chances to win it, and or to be in front at half time, and we've not taken them. Some man says it's offside. Blind was off the pitch.
It's a strange one, isn't it? I'll be glad when this is all cleared up with a replay.
Yeah, we'll see.
I know he was off the pitch because he slid in, didn't he? And he was off the pitch, and the only way he could not be offside was if Daly has come back onto the pitch and has played him on.
Kieran Byrne makes a good point. Shaw must not come off at half time for Darmian. I hope not, because he may as well. He should just keep playing and playing and playing, because he's been fantastic. Hopefully Martial will come on for Rashford, I'm afraid. But having said that, I would probably still stick by it because, you know, we need Rashford to get back, don't we? You know, it's all right castigating him. I do like Rashford, and confidence is all that matters.
Yeah.
Alex Bork says it was a fair goal. It's just been announced. I don't know how it can be a fair goal.
Yeah, see, AJ just said the complete opposite. Blind isn't even on the pitch. So this will be interesting now because the replay's coming.
Yeah.
So
we've got the overlap there. It is Luke Shaw's man.
Yeah. So Blind's off the pitch.
Yeah, it's offside.
It is offside, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I mean, there we go. Look, there's Smalling playing him on. All right. Blind's off the pitch. Yeah. It is offside, yeah.
It's a mile off.
Yeah. No, I'm using the offside. It touches his arm on the way through. So, yeah.
It's not even a debate. It's just a good yard or two offside. I think in relation to the offside trap, it's like the worst offside trap I've ever seen because it's like a crooked leg, but the linesman's looking straight at it as well. Yeah. I can't believe his flag doesn't go up.
I mean, you can't even say that. You can't even say the two players that are off the pitch are active.
It just becomes more offside as well. It's not even close. And as Sally Devil Reds, Mitchell says he's looking. The linesman's looking right down the line. Oh well. You know, as a learning exercise, it's good for us to be able to just come back from behind. It shows character. I mean, that's what we need to do in the second half. Would you make any changes at half time, Marcus?
Not for the first 10 minutes, but I think the obvious one, mate, would be the Rashford and Martial, which happens every game. I wouldn't make any changes to the middle of the park. I think Herrera's been pretty decent. Pogba's been good. Mata. A lot of good players come through Mata, so I'd leave them three. But I think overall we've done okay. But yeah, it's the obvious one, isn't it? Martial, Rashford, the same one that happens every game. So, but I'd like to see. I really want to see Lukaku end this drought that he's got. It just nothing seems to be falling for him at the minute.
No, I agree. Just very quickly, while we've got a few people watching, we are 125 subscribers off 155,000 subscribers. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do. The hologram in the bottom right hand corner, and make sure you click your bell so you get notifications when we go live. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, talking all the latest United news with the live comments, live community interaction. You won't regret it. We've got a superb community on here. I've got to be totally honest with you. I'm not. People are saying stop crying, Mark. I really couldn't give a damn about this result at the moment. I've never been more relaxed about United losing in my life. I'm not concerned. We're not going out the Champions League. We won't even lose this game, and it really doesn't matter. It's an offside goal. We've had the chances to score and win it. We haven't. I'm sure Mourinho will give him a bit of a bollocking, but I thought Luke Shaw was fantastic. Granted, it is his man who gets away down the left-hand side, but if you know anything about defending, you can't go with that run. You are meant to play offside, but the defensive line is just all over the shop, so we need to work on that. And
people still debating whether it's offside and onside.
I think people need to go and read the offside rule. If you're off the pitch, you're out. You're not counted, so it's offside. And I thought Herrera was really good, and I'm surprised. You know, I know Herrera sort of here we go. Frankie has just made a contribution. He's actually spent money on this to say if you're off the pitch, you can still play people on. You can't. You don't play people offside when you're off the pitch. Unless they've made a new rule change, that you cannot. You're not offside if you're off the pitch.
Surely if that was the case then, when people go off after falling on the floor, even if they don't receive medical attention and you've got to wait for the referee to wave you on, then that means they're still active as well, yeah?
Yeah.
So it can't be. Surely not. Because then, I mean, that would all come down to where you are on the sideline to be waved back on by the referee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird rule. If that's right, that is so weird. So weird. But I agree with you, mate. I was always under the assumption that if you was off the pitch, you're not active, are you? Because you're not on the pitch. So I don't know. But yeah, got quite a few comments saying onside, offside.
I mean, BBC are no better. They say he looked offside, but Daley Blind, who slid off the pitch, may have been playing him onside in the visitors' lead. I mean, I have never heard of that rule at all.
Yeah, but the word there, Mark, is may.
Yeah.
Even they don't know.
Yeah, it's. I thought there might be a bit of clarity on that from a reliable source, so to speak.
Yeah, see, race ties. It was offside. The player from Man U was off the pitch. Mike Rowling says they changed the rule. They're off the field with permission. High says he was always off. Supreme says he was offside. Scott Roberts says a CSK player off the pitch also, yeah. And that CSK player, if Blind is active, that CSK player is behind Blind.
Yeah, so it's offside.
So he's offside. So it's by the rules, it's not offside.
Because there's a Moscow player beyond Blind.
Yeah.
Off the pitch.
Yeah.
But he's not interfering with play.
Active,
so you know what? It's a stupid rule. If you're off the pitch, you're off the pitch. And George, I do trust you. So if you're telling me technically they've changed the rules, then fine. But the rules are stupid. And you know, to be honest with you, as I said a few minutes, I don't actually give a shit. I really don't. I'm not bothered because you're not going to win this game, or we'll draw it and we'll go through top of the group, and that's fine. I'm not really bothered. Back on to what I wanted to talk about, Herrera. I mean, a few people saying Herrera's been poor. And I'm not listening to Gary Lineker about opinions on offside. Gary Lineker and three, Gerrard, Lampard and Ferdinand, all who were playing at the time, couldn't figure out who was in the Champions League final in 2006 last week. And they're paid probably 5 million between them just to appear on that show. And none of them could figure out, even though they were playing at that time, who played in the final in 2006. The year after Gerrard had bloody won it. So I ain't interested in what he's got to say. AJ Nell says, I've checked the rules, he is offside. I'm sure he is offside then. Okay, that's fine. But it's a stupid rule.
He says he was onside.
Onside, sorry. But it's a stupid rule. Stupid rule.
Apparently Steven Gerrard sides with us. Gerrard says it's offside, so we'll never know. But at the end of the day, we're 1-0 down. What do we do, Mark? To change it? Do we need to change tactics or anything? Second half to come out and get us level. Deep in concentration.
Right. Okay. So that's. I've just listened to the BT Sports there. He's off the pitch without permission. So effectively, if it's a point of whether he can get back on the pitch, or whether he's staying off the pitch deliberately to keep the person offside. The linesman has no way seen that. The linesman's not made his decision based on the rules. The linesman's based his decision on the fact that he thinks that that's onside from Smalling. The linesman's just luckily got that right. There's no way the linesman's figured that out, because also, for me, Daley Blind can't get back on the pitch anyway. So yeah, it's...
Well, no, he sat down there touching his boots.
You know,
So he's obviously not coming back on.
Clocks and all sorts of things to figure out the physics of how quick Daley Blind can get back on that pitch. So, yeah, nonsense. But the second half's up and running, and to be totally honest with you, it's going to be resolved very, very quickly because we won't be losing for much longer.
Oh, here we go. That was a interesting half-time chat, wasn't it?
Well, Christopher Morton said, like I said, no attempt to return to the pitch makes you keep them onside, but no one was looking at Blind, who was still sliding at the time. Exactly, Christopher. So technically it's onside, but my point is, there's no way the linesman has said it onside based on that rule, because he wasn't even looking at Daley Blind, and Daley Blind was still sliding at the time. So it's a nonsense rule, and it's certainly not the reason that it was given onside.
Could be an idea for a Sunday show debate, Mark.
I hate the offside rule anyway.
It was good. Oh, right. Draughty agrees with me in some way. That's exactly what I said. It was a case of if he was inactive or not. Okay, right. But right, let's move on then, because CSKA are in again here.
They only need another 6. David Roach says, how do you know the assistant didn't look at Blind? Are you him? No, I've got eyes, David, and I was looking at the linesman looking down the line. Come on. Think before you've taken about 10 seconds to type that. Does your brain not engage while you're typing? Pardon you?
No, that's my phone ringing. Someone trying to phone me.
Here's Rashford. What's his final ball going to be like? Crap. Oh no, good shot. Keeper saves it. That's it. Slag him off and he'll do something.
Oh, go on, United. Let's get cracking. I mean, first half was, it was good, but lacked that killer intent, I think, for me.
Lynn Hall's got a good point. She says lots of bias against Herrera, Mark. Very disappointing when he worked himself into the ground last season. He also stayed loyal to United when hardly selected for 2 years. He deserves a bit of loyalty back from the fans. I tell you what, I'm going to applaud that. I don't get the hate Herrera gets this season. Player of the year last year, really loyal to the club, and people just want shots of him. They don't like him. I think it's the definition of an Arsenal fan. That sort of mentality. I do not get that sort of spoiled, petulant, turn your back on somebody who's been good for the club. And actually, I think he's been really good tonight.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think he's really, considering he's not been playing a lot, he's only been making cameos. I think he's done really well.
Nadeem says, Lynn, I agree. He's treated like a fringe player despite being player of the year last year. Yeah, I do agree with someone saying there Pogba's trying too hard to do clever things. I think the mentality of United is probably not quite right tonight. It is difficult to switch it on and off. We know we're not in a situation where we've desperately got to win, and I think that's reflected in the atmosphere at Old Trafford as well. It's not a, if this was a game where we had to win it, I think you'd be seeing a different United side. But he's given us an offside here, but it's not that same linesman, is it?
Yeah. Someone wanted to know if it was half time yet. It's second half now. 4 minutes in. Rashford had a good shot moments ago, but palmed away by the goalie. Michael K says watching Lukaku is painful. Irish Rover says Lukaku was a bad buy. He hasn't been bad tonight. I think he's done quite well apart from score, but he's not had the opportunities. Well, he's only had one, hasn't he? But service to him hasn't been that great tonight.
Here's Matter turning back. We have looked a bit blunt in the movement from back to front.
See how far apart Lukaku and Rashford are.
But I think that's because the 3-5-2 is a better formation away from home.
Yeah.
I don't think you get the numbers forward in that formation because you're playing 3 at the back, and the fullbacks need to really push on, and they haven't tonight as much as I think we would want them to.
Well, we just seem quite happy playing around the back at the minute.
Jamie Kearney, I agree. I think Rashford's been poor, but he's in here. He might switch it all around. You see again, his decision making, he lets them all back, but Pogba's picked it up. I think we'll see Martial at some point. Oh, well in. Herrera, you see? Would have been one-on-one.
Well, the first 5 minutes in the first half, we saw Luke Shaw getting forward. Not seen that so far, the second half. Oh, he's coming forward now, though.
Story Face says put the snooker on instead of United. Got some snooker on, have we, tonight?
Oh, Pogba, corner.
Used to like a bit of snooker, me.
So I think it's only a matter of time now till Martial comes on.
Lukaku, oh no, I thought he was injured then.
Rashford's pretty much started the second half how he finished the first. Blind with a corner. Oh. Luke Shaw, let's see how fast you can go now then, kid. Oh, he's done well again. Luke Shaw again.
Strong.
Fantastic tracking back.
So I'll tell you what, someone's going to have to go some to be man of the match over Luke Shaw tonight. And Rashford's going to have to go some to not be worst player on the pitch tonight.
God, Mourinho's not looking too happy down here. He's got a menacing gaze. John Sherrill, Shaw's recovery runs are brilliant. They have been. I've been really good, really impressed with him. It's like a new signing.
It's only a game, so put up a real good fight.
Ain't that big break?
I'm gonna be snookering you tonight. Come on, ref.
Pogba a bit.
Oh, you see Pogba again.
Yeah.
I think it's just the way he tackles. He's not a vicious player, but good comment here from D's TV, and not just because he's made a contribution. Thanks for that. He says, "Has the presence of Ibra affected Lukaku?" Do you think that, Marcus?
Do you know what? I read about that a few days ago.
I think it was on the United Stand website actually. Yeah. Skills, Luke Shaw, corner ball.
I think he may well have, because I don't see it as a good sign that every time Zlatan comes on, Lukaku gets pushed out to the right hand side. I was under the assumption with Zlatan wearing the number 10, he was going to fill the number 10 role. So when he comes on, Zlatan goes straight through the middle, and Lukaku is basically playing as a right winger, which, being only left-footed, is quite easy for the opposition. Good ball in from Mata. Oh, just
queuing up. Who's that on the back post? Pogba. Smalling. Oh, unlucky, Chris. Everyone's
great ball in by Mata.
Oh, tough. And Lati-san. Moishan Ashan says, "Where's Mickey? He didn't even make the bench." To be honest, yeah, Mkhitaryan in a game like this, just for Mata, wouldn't be a bad sub, to be fair. I mean, Mata's played well, but I don't know, Mkhitaryan looks deservedly so. I mean, Ross, you know, was saying that he deserves to be out. I think he's got a long way back. Have to work hard.
Pogba, unlucky. Corner. He's good for that. Oh, Lukaku. He's good for that as a goal kick.
Goal kick. We go through top of the group at the moment, as Akash Kumar says. Even though Basel are winning, we still go through top of the group. We are 67 subscribers short of 155,000 subscribers. So if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner with the hologram. And even if you're not new to the channel, or you are new, make sure you click the bell and get all our notifications when we go live, which is every night at 8 o'clock. And we've got fan cams coming up tonight as well, so I think there'll be a lot of people talking about Luke Shaw ahead of the derby. Maybe a few saying what you've said, Marcus, that, you know, is he an outsider to play in the derby? I don't think there's any chance, I've got to be honest. I don't think there's a chance. Cat in hell's chance, but...
Well, I think based on this performance so far, I think he's probably got a decent chance of getting in there, because he's doing something that Ashley Young can't do. You know, Luke Shaw, he can make those runs in behind, which is what he did quite well in the first half, and it also brings a bit more balance to the left-hand side. But yeah, they're showing that goal back again. There's no effort from Blind to come back on the pitch.
I don't know whether that means it is onside or offside. I think it's...
Yeah.
It's whether, I think I read it that if he doesn't make any effort to come back on the pitch, then that means that it is onside, because he's purposely not coming back on. But I don't know. I don't know.
One of the great mysteries of football.
Yeah.
Pogba looking for the run.
Oh, this could. Oh, it's got to be a free kick. That.
Yeah. Yellow.
Now,
yeah.
This has got to be Mata. Pogba will probably say me, but I'd get Mata on this. Got no Ashley Young, so round the wall, 1 Mata, 1-0.
Great little layoff from Lukaku in that as well.
Yeah, again.
Yeah. Apparently it's Benfica 1, Basel 1.
Oh.
That's from Junior Men.
I think Pogba's going to take it. I mean, he did make it. No, Rashford's on it. Oh, for frick's sake.
Pogba's lining up as though he's going to take it.
Rashford put it down. I mean, I think the worst thing in the world is... Well, no, it's not the worst thing in the world. I wouldn't want... I do want Rashford to score, obviously, but I don't like Rashford on free kicks. This, for me, is Mata around the wall, little dink.
I'd go with the right foot for this one, not the left. It's Rashford. Oh, unlucky.
Nah.
Apparently Atletico have beaten Chelsea, says Alex.
Good.
Unlucky Chaddy. Chad Sproul, Chelsea lover. You know what? I think it's absolutely amazing that you get people who support other clubs come in the comments box and be so polite.
You being sarcastic?
No, not really.
No, to be fair, there are a lot of you know, I know the high proportion is United fans, and you'd expect that, but there are a few fans of other clubs who you know, get involved and enjoy the content, which is, you know, everyone's welcome as long as there's no abuse and stuff like that. Rashford again.
Great
nice
ball
by Shaw.
Shaw, yeah.
Mata, they're queuing up.
Herrera's being pulled back there, ref. Come on. No, nothing.
That should have been a foul. What's with all the hate for Rashford, Marky Ball? No, I'm not having that. I get consistently asked who my favourite 2 players are at United, and I've been asked that for about 2 years now, and I've always said Rashford and Martial. So I disagree with this. I was saying this last night, that, you know, you can be negative about players if they're not playing well. I think Rashford at the moment, in fact I tweeted it out a minute ago, Rashford's form at the moment is a real puzzler. I don't know what's gone wrong. I think he's trying too hard. I mean, Martial last season, I stuck by him, but his form was terrible, and I think he was trying too hard. And I think that's what the problem with Rashford at the moment is. Rashford's going to be a great player, he already is, but at the moment his form is a worry.
Yeah, the only plus sign with this at the minute, with Rashford's performance tonight, is that you could probably say Martial was going to start the game against City.
Yeah, which is a shame though, because Rashford and Lingard, they are useful players in a derby because they are, they are Manchester lads, and he's done well in the derby. Rashford, I mean, he's only 20. He scored that goal against Dembélé, and that wasn't even last season; it was the season before. So,
I think Martial's performance, especially his first half performance against Arsenal, I think he warrants to start against Man City at the weekend.
Well, I think Lingard will definitely start.
Yeah.
I would hope Martial would as well. But I think Lingard might start on the right.
Come on, Shaw. Pogba's got it. No way through. He's got 3 men around him. Right. Herrera again. Great in the tackle.
I think, yeah, you're right. Al Matkin says, fatigue and Rashford, it might be a problem. Yeah, every international break he's been away and played 2 games for England. He's played most weeks for United as well.
It doesn't help as well. The last international break, didn't he play the full games? I think he definitely played the whole match against Brazil, didn't he?
I don't care if I've murdered Dembele's name, David Roche. He died years ago because of Rashford, so it doesn't matter.
Dembele, wasn't it?
I think it's Chalice. I don't know. I don't care. He's dead anyway. He died 18 months ago when Rashford killed him at the Etihad.
Right, go on, Rashford, run.
Now here we go. Rashford with space in front of him. You've got to hit that. You see what? He's panicking now. He's like, oh, what am I going to do? See, that's good.
To be fair from there, Lukaku didn't make the forward run, did he? He just sort of like stopped it.
Pogba, Mata's offside. No, he's not. Kyle Cross says that Shaw has changed my mind tonight. Hope he gets more chances. Would rather have Luke Shaw playing than spend £50 on Rose. I think he means 50 million. But,
if he was 50 quid, I'll take him.
Rashford again. Tackled back well though.
Yeah. Well, go on, Luke. Stand him up. That's it. Well done. Well, Luke Shaw, I can't say it enough, he's been absolutely amazing tonight.
Joe, we don't go out if we lose. We're top of the group at the moment, even though we're losing. We are 40 subscribers short of hitting 155,000, so if you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we'll hit that target tonight while we're live and collectively smile. But
Lukaku, it's in. It's 1-1.
Yes, Lukaku at last. Pogba. Lovely little ball in by Pogba, and Lukaku scores at last. That is more than 1 goal for me. It isn't technically, but it is because it gives him that confidence.
A lovely floated ball from Pogba there. Absolutely fantastic. What a pass. And to be fair to Lukaku, what a run. Left foot of Pogba, floated into Lukaku, stretches his leg out, in the air, in it goes.
It's like oxygen to a striker. And Lukaku getting on the end of this, lovely by Pogba. Unfortunately, we won't see that combination in the derby. And I don't know whether it goes in off the defender, actually. You might have to have a little bit of a concern about that. Let's have a look.
No, straight in off Lukaku's left foot.
Good. Don't want any claims of it not being a Lukaku goal. So yeah, we spoke about that before the game, and Rashford's in here. Could be 2. Yes, come on, 2-1 over, and another one, 2-1. I haven't even updated the score.
Quick succession, game over, done and dusted. I'll tell you what, if we can get 2 goals like that on Sunday, that'll be a good one.
Another one. We'll have another one.
I totally missed that because I was reading the comments. So they took kick off.
To be fair, speculative long ball or not, it's Lindelof, flicked by Lukaku. Rashford loses control, but Mata picks it up. Lovely little dink on top, and he catches that one far better than he does in the first half. Another goal for Rashford. What have I said about Rashford? He's going to break Rooney's goal record. Another one. 20 years of age. How many has he got now? Answers on a postcard, but he took that one a lot better. Eyes on the ball. Didn't close him. Low. Bottom corner. Flicked by Lukaku again. And bish bash bosh. And another one. 2-1.
Yeah.
Told you not to panic.
First off, I said it'd be really good if our front 2 could get a goal, get the confidence up.
Yeah. I mean,
that's worked out pretty well. So 2 minutes, 2 goals.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would say as well. It's like, we were talking about Rashford. I don't think he's played particularly well tonight, but him going off after not a bad game doesn't serve anybody any good. We want him to work through the poor form, really, and as many players, I said this to Ross before the game, Marcus, as many of these fringe players who play well tonight, all the better for the Man City game.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if Rashford doesn't start off the bench, he's got to be a confidence.
Yeah, the Martial and Rashford combination, they always get swapped around every game. So McTominay's come on for Herrera.
Yeah, that'll be one eye on the weekend.
Yeah. So I think it's safe to say Herrera's going to be starting alongside Matic.
Yeah. And Lynn Hall says lovely assist by Mata. Give the man credit. Mr. Smith said that I don't want to disappoint you, Mark, but I've got a funny feeling Rashford will start in the derby. We were only talking about it a few minutes ago. I mean, I think there'd be a lot of shock if Martial didn't start on Sunday. A lot of shock. But I've seen it over the years. Well, not that many years because he's not been around that many years. But I wouldn't be surprised if Lingard and Rashford started in the derby either. Being local lads and all that, it can sometimes mean something in a derby. So we'll see. But if he does, he's got a bit.
Lingard's nailed on to start, I think, with his goal against Watford and the damage he did against Arsenal. I think he's probably the surefire one to start. But for me, I'd go Martial.
Don't know what Matthew's done, but Beck says you've got to apologise to whoever it was. I agree with Kitsuki. Herrera rested now. Herrera's been very good. I'm looking forward to doing my play ratings after the match, actually, because I thought Herrera was great. Gary Stevens can't be bothered tonight. That's what she said. United are comfortably going to finish top of this group now. We're clear anyway. And Rashford's getting all sorts of space now. He's going to hit another one. Oh, skills. United pushing forward now. Valencia. And keeper's seen that.
So we've still got, just over 20 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Be nice if Lukaku or Rashford could add to their tally again.
To be honest, I did tell everybody when West Ham were beating City at the weekend, get yourself a Christmas film on and just enjoy a little bit of Christmas festivity. Don't waste your afternoon hoping that West Ham will get a result against City. And I felt exactly the same about this. Yes, CSKA Moscow were winning 1-0, but I was never in doubt that we were going to come back and win this. You can just tell. And are we talking about the offside goal now? No, doesn't matter. It didn't matter then.
No, but it is nice to try and clear it up.
I still don't. I still don't know. I still don't have any definitive. There's a lot of people getting very angry. Oh, it was definitely offside, but no one's given us the definitive angle on it.
So United, we're still biting into the tackles.
Here we go. There's an article here. I'm going to read it out. The Red Devils were nowhere near their best, but were victims of a late sucker punch in the first half after some controversial officiating. A pullback reached Brazilian Vitinho, whose shot bounced off the back of Alan Jogviv on its way into the back of the net. Jogsiff was clearly offside in normal circumstances, but Daley Blind, who had slid off the pitch, may have been considered to be playing him onside. Rules state that a defending player who leaves the field of play without the referee's permission shall be considered to be on the goal line for the purposes of offside until the next stoppage in play or until the defending team has played the ball towards the halfway line. So Blind wasn't given permission to leave the pitch and should therefore be considered to be playing Zhagov offside. Yeah. Clear as mud. Just to add extra confusion, Vitinho has been handed the goal and we're all expecting to just forget about it touching Jog. Stop. Well, there you go. If anybody got that right, well done. I think my favourite comment of the watch along so far was that you've got your own YouTube channel and you don't even know that was offside. Yeah, because everybody did. But it was onside. It was definitely onside by the rules, which are that if Daley Blind has not been given permission to go off the pitch, he is effectively standing on the goal line, which would obviously keep that player onside as Valencia comes off. But it doesn't matter because we're going to win anyway.
Swansea's coming on.
Swansea's coming on, which is great.
Yeah.
He gets 18 minutes. Nice one, Jose.
Yeah. So that's two youngsters.
Yeah, a few people were moaning about that before the game, saying they wanted to see more youngsters play, but I don't think it was quite that game because it is the Champions League. You've got to give it a bit of respect, and also, we weren't. I know we were always going to qualify, but it wasn't. You don't want to lose your record at home. We are 13 subscribers away from hitting 155,000. Just to let people know, if you're new, do subscribe. But all in all, a good... Oh, dear, McTominay, I think you're going to get a yellow card for that, lad.
Yeah, definitely for that one.
Even his long legs couldn't reach that tackle. It was... yeah, that was the innocence of youth.
You know what? Yeah,
he got a
little nick. Yeah, he got a nick on the ball.
It's Christmas time.
Would you want to take Lukaku off now, Mark? Give him a little bit of extra rest? Well, Martial's coming on.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coming on his birthday.
Preston Plays says Lindelof is slowly becoming a good signing. Yeah, Martial's coming on. They'll wait till after the free kick's taken. Foul on McTominay outside the box. Free kick to United. So Martial's coming on for Lukaku.
Yeah, good call. Just have a hot blind bling with Mourinho. Yeah, so Martial's on and Martial goal on the download. Give me some ideas of stuff for Christmas. My wife keeps asking me. I don't know. I don't know what to have. What do you give the man who's got everything? Draughty's Devil Studio 2. That was an ironic statement, actually. Studio 2's on its way, which is the Christmas Studios. So I don't know whether we can debut them tomorrow. I don't know what he's giving. I know I've seen the Red Rumours one, but obviously that's only one a week on a Monday. So we'll have to have a look at what we've got for Christmas for you. But Christmas Studios are always good. It always feels a bit bare when you take the decorations down, though.
Let's change the subject here, Mark. Lukaku's gone straight down the tunnel.
He's probably gone to whack one off. He scored a goal, hasn't he? He's excited he hasn't scored a goal in a month.
I was going to say something really disgusting then, but I won't. But, yeah, what do you get the man who's got everything then? I don't know. I don't know. What sort of stuff you into? You like reading, didn't you?
Oh, Pogba. I thought you were going to say something else then. What you into? You like...
Rooney's in the stands watching.
Yeah. That Lukaku goal is very underrated, says Alex Bork.
What about a season ticket at Forest?
Oh, banter clause is in the house.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was George.
George.
And on that note, we've hit 155,000.
Bang on it on my screen at the moment. So
Yeah.
Fantastic achievement. Well done, everybody. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you are new. It's only growing bigger and bigger. Lots and lots going on with the channel at the moment, which coincides with lots going on with Manchester United, which is great.
There's another suggestion here from Thunder Proprius. Get a shirt that says "Keep calm, you're tenacious."
Yeah, I like that one. Is George a moderator by any chance?
Yes, he is.
I should have said. What I should have said was George a moderator.
He still is a moderator.
Oh, right, okay. I can't wait to see his next comment on there because I get 3 dots next to it, and when I click it, it says remove moderator or not. So George, I would stay quiet on the comments for a little while if I were you.
I don't know. You don't really play PlayStation much, do you? What about TV shows?
I do want to play PlayStation more. I'm thinking about getting Star Wars Battlefront because my brother was on about it all the time on Centre Parks, and I know you like it. So
the campaign's, okay.
Oh, he loves online.
Oh, I don't know about the online. I've literally only played a couple of games.
But I've got Call of Duty, and I've hardly played it, so I can't get to grips with it. I like FIFA. I've not played FIFA in a... This is the trouble. I just don't get any time. Luke Shaw's got cramp, and we've used all our subs.
Yeah.
I love FIFA. I was doing a FIFA career mode. I really enjoy it. It's just timing. Timing's a massive problem. I think I need to start a GoFundMe page for Christmas so that Mark can play more FIFA. And if we get 100k, I'll do a FIFA career mode. Sure is down. Mustafa Gaming. Yeah. Sure is down, down, down. Ashley Young's laughing. Cheeky get.
It's a shame you don't get to play much on your PlayStation. There's some decent games on there, to be honest. Luke Shaw's all right. Jose's just having a word with him.
Chelsea 1-1. I don't think Shaw's injured. I think he's just got a bit of cramp, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is, he hasn't been playing, has he? So, you can train all you like, but the intensity of a match is you can't buy it. Well, I've said Martial's going to get a goal, but we're not really attacking much at the moment. Yeah, Luke Shaw's all right, Josh. He's got to be anyway. We've got no more subs. So it's good that Jose was always going to play him for 10.
Pog was down here.
For 90, sorry. Goodbye, my lover.
Oh, Pogba. Up you go. Going to get a break after this game, so.
Yeah, no Pogba at the weekend.
Yeah.
He's not been great tonight, to be honest. He's been the old Pogba of trying too much.
Yeah. Cross in by CSKA, cleared by Blind. So seeing CSKA had to win this game, I mean, that apart from the goal, they've not really threatened, have they?
No, I don't think they're that good.
David Ashwood, good comment here. This will be the first time Mata has played a full 90 minutes. Yeah. Marco says Pogba equals Bambi on ice.
He did get that assist for the goal though.
A couple of people want to know what's your thoughts on Daley Blind today?
I like, Daley Blind was, that's got to be a foul on Martial.
He's played on.
I like Daley Blind, and he was very important for us again with Smalling when we won the Europa League and everyone got injured again. And I think as a backup centre back he's all right, but I wouldn't have him near the first team. To be honest, I think Daley Blind, if I'm going to be totally honest with you, I think Daley Blind and Darmian are the two players we should get rid of, because not because I dislike them, but because we get good money for them and they are squad players and we could get better squad players than that. But I do like Daley Blind. I think he's been a decent player for us, but he's nowhere near the starting 11 when everyone's fit, in my mind. I don't know. What do you think, Marcus?
I'm going to side with Ross on this one, because I know Ross likes Daley Blind and I like him as well, but I don't think he's a first team player. I think he's a good squad player. Can do a job in a couple of positions, which is probably his downfall, because he can't cement a position like Fosu Mensah.
Yeah.
But I do think it's good to have a player that can, I suppose, not naturally play two or three different positions, but he's quite educated in. He can play CDM at a push. He can play left back, but he's a little bit slow for me for a left back. We've seen him play centre back with Smalling. That partnership worked quite well, so I think he'd be a good player to keep around, good squad player.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't turn around and say that Flavey should be the one out packing his bags.
I'd love that to happen, but you can't have everything you want for Christmas.
You know what? I read that he was going to go to PSG on a free.
I think whatever about Fellaini, everyone knows I don't really rate that sort of player, but whatever about him, we haven't used him in the last 4 weeks when we've played this really good football and we've won 4 games. And I just think my problem with Fellaini has always been we don't actually need that sort of a player in our team, and I think it's been proven. I think he's a decent option off the bench if you want to go long ball in the last 10 minutes, but as a starting player, we haven't had him over the last 4 games, and the last 2 games, especially against Watford and Arsenal, are probably our 2 best games of the season against 2 decent opposition, and we did it without Fellaini. And so might upset a few people, but for me, I hope it is the beginning of the end of his time at United.
But to be fair to him, he is injured.
Oh, no, that, yeah.
So, CSKA keeping the ball, trying to make something happen, but Pogba chasing back. All they're in. Romero, good save.
Good save with the feet by Romero.
Martial, giving the ball away there, dangerous.
He's trying a little bit too much as well, isn't he?
Yeah. I think that all the players, they've got one eye on Sunday, haven't they? Yeah. They want to be in their starting 11 Sunday. So.
The trouble with that is that you start, like you say, you start trying too hard, don't you?
Yeah. There again, Daley Blind call. Tight. Don't go too tight. You'll roll you. There we go. Sure, a bit slow to get it out of the box there.
Well, I think not Lukaku. I mean, obviously Luke Shaw's played really, really well tonight, but Lukaku strikes back is probably more significant in relation to the derby because he will play in the derby.
Yeah. Oh, Mata. Absolutely. Oh, Mata's silky.
Put him in! Oh, Martial's not happy with that. 1 too many again.
Fantastic bit of skill there from Mata.
It was, but he held on to it too long. He could have slipped old Martial in on his birthday, gave him a present.
Transebe there did well.
Well,
I've been quite impressed with these two youngsters since they come on.
yeah. I mean, I'm not convinced about Transebe in the long term, but not Transebe, McTominay in the long term. But I am convinced about Transebe.
Jay Hart and Alex, yeah, it is. Yeah.
So we've got about 7 minutes left, 6 minutes left. Well, it depends how many. They never seem to add much on in the Champions League games, to be honest. But
you doing your match reaction straight after, yeah?
I will, yeah. Player ratings and all that jazz.
Yeah. No, I'll probably figure. I've got two people in mind for man of the match, but I'm going to go. Hopefully, I'm going to go with the complete opposite to you. So.
Oh, interesting. Not Luke Shaw then.
No, because I think you're going to go with him. But I think someone's been really good in this game. That's gone under the radar a bit for me. Beck, yeah, I will be. 10 o'clock.
Streaming, are you?
Yeah, me and Ross are going to do something for an hour or two.
Oh yeah, what?
Oh, you want to jump in?
What are you doing?
Call of Duty.
I might actually pop on for the last 20 minutes at about 20 to 11. Just in case people want to watch Marcus and Ross and me play a bit of Call of Duty a bit later on. About 20 to 11 I'll be on. Where can they find us, Marcus? It's your channel, isn't it?
Yeah, just click on my picture and you'll be able to watch me, Mark and Ross play
Does that
Call
work
of Duty.
by clicking on someone's picture in
Yeah,
the thing?
if you just click on my profile picture there in the comments and you'll be able to see. I'll probably go live at about 10 o'clock and yeah, just send me an invite. Send me a message, mate, when you're ready. I'll get you in.
Oh, Rashford's final ball there, trying to put the Martial in.
I think going to get a few people on. I think me, Ross, get you on. I think my mum's going to jump in as well.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah. So have a bit of a laugh. Get a team of 6 going. Alex, I am Alex Odin. I'm 37. A couple of people want me to type a message, so there we go.
Well, I haven't played for a while, so that'll be fun.
That's right. I normally carry you anyway, don't I? So
yeah, I just creep behind him. Moscow making a change late on. I mean,
cheers, Connor.
They still, I suppose, have a chance.
Chelsea are drawing apparently still. Try not to shoot us tonight, mate. We're on the same team.
Yeah, that's my tactic. I can't hit the enemy, so I shoot them. Here's Martial running down the right.
Come on, Martial. Get
Oh, come on. Not done much since he's come on, to be fair. Probably won't get to play at the weekend now.
JB FIFA 18, thank you. Tyrion says embarrassing attack. My first grade side would have scored 5 tonight. Jay Hart says his mum can't even work Gmail. Ty, yes, I will be Ty. Last of Us 2, yes, definitely. Amazon, no, on PlayStation, mate. PS4, yeah. Andrew, 34. Oh, not too far off. So yeah, CSKA making a change.
3 minutes to be added on, I think.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe there's... Yeah, it is 3 minutes to be added on. Well, you know, it's easy to say run-of-the-mill result for United. But, you know, again, another little test, another little hurdle overcome. 1-0 down at half-time. And, you know, never felt we were in doubt that we would come back. And it's certainly not our first team. So lots and lots of positives to take away from it. But as we draw to the end of the game, Marcus, you said Luke Shaw wouldn't be a man of the match. So who would it be?
I am going to go for Juan Mata tonight. I think, as that comment said earlier, it's his first 90 minutes in a while. I think he's absolutely his first touch tonight. I can only recall one mistake. He's played some really good one-touch football, especially towards the end of the game here. I mean, yeah, he went through two or three players.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think one matter for me. But Luke Shaw, very, very well tonight. He did fantastically well. But I just think Mata for me is just nicked it. He's been absolutely fantastic playing as the number 10.
Well,
Herrera as well. Herrera has had a positive game as well. You know, he'll probably start the game Sunday, which I'm not opposed to.
no, I think without Pogba there, it's a must.
Yep. Colin Kazosi says, "Are you going to watch Manchester Derby?" Yeah.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Harshit says, what am I high on? Nothing, mate. Nothing. Right.
The draw for the last 16, says Nadeem.
I think it's Monday.
Yeah, it normally happens on a Friday, doesn't it? But I don't know whether it's this Friday, because that'll be a bit quick after the Europa League.
Yeah, I think it was advertised earlier during the half-time break. I think it was Monday at like 10:30 a.m. or something.
All right. Let's have a look.
It's just Melik. Lukaku played decent today. Got the goal immediately. Yes, done. Yeah. Connor C. Marks. Do you think Mark should do a video of him playing COD? He can do.
Yeah, you're right. December the 11th. December the 11th at 11 a.m.
Oh, 11. Oh. There we go. Game over. United win it.
Yeah, comfortable for United. Comfortable in the end for United stand, hitting 155,000 subscribers. So that's a positive. Luke Shaw's a positive. Rashford and Lukaku scoring is a positive. Having Marcus back on the watch along with me was a positive. I know he did the game at the weekend, but good to get the 18 back. And thanks for coming on, Marcus. I will be playing a bit of Call of Duty with Marcus a little bit later. So I'm sure he'll jump onto the comments and just click his name and subscribe to that, so that you can join us in an hour's time. Oh, he's going live from 10. I won't be on for until about 20 to 11. But do go and subscribe and watch that if you like a bit of banter on Call of Duty, because I'm crap, so at least you'll get a bit of comedy. And I'm going to do my match reaction. I'm going to give you my man of the match, player ratings and thoughts ahead of the derby. The link in the video description is there for that. I've just tested it. If you look at the video description, it says Manchester United versus CSKA Moscow live match reaction. Then it's got a YouTube link. That will take you straight to it. There's a live comments open there, and I'll be there in about 60 seconds. Or you can go through the homepage. I'll see you there shortly. But thanks for coming on, Marcus.
No worries, mate. Pleasure as always. And
I'll
thanks
see you on your stream
comments.
in about an hour. I'll message you when I'm ready. And I'll see all you lot on my match reaction stream in about 60 seconds. Link in the video description. See you in a moment. Thanks for coming on, pal.
No worries, mate. Pleasure as always.
I'll speak to you in about an hour.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Send me a message, all right?
Will do.
All right, later.
Ta-da.